This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 918 for the week of Monday, May 11th, 2026. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
And my name is Steve.
On today's episode, we have a very special guest. She is the editor for our podcast, Delaney Jordan. Welcome, Delaney.
I was going to make a joke about how you needed Mother here on Mother's Day, but I have an very special guest. Let's be so for real.
Well, I have to say that first. It's just what happens to... I can't not say that after...
You rerouted midway through when you realized that it wasn't Stephen Paul.
I've been saying it for 17 years. I can't not say that
I don't
immediately.
know
Whenever someone says mother as an exclamation, I think of either... Was it the Danzig song or that Darren Aronofsky movie?
We're not getting into that. That's a danger zone for me right now. We're not doing Aronofsky. In other news, everything is great, Zach. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, good news. And we have our archivist, Ken O'Connor, with us. How's it going, Ken?
I'm doing well. All I thought of was like, and tonight the role of Stephen Paul will be played by Delaney.
I should have done that.
Happy to be here, though.
I forgot was it Steve who did the Stephen Paul impression? I'm trying to remember who did that a few weeks ago.
Doesn't sound like me.
No.
I would love to hear this.
I forgot. Maybe it was
I
Alex.
remember.
It
It's
was
too bad
Alex.
nobody did a Simba impression during the slate.
Yeah. I think Alex.
Yes. Was that pretty good?
No. I think Alex did that. Anyway, Delaney could do her Stephen Paul impression later. Today on the show, we're going through One Piece chapter 1182, Zaza. And we are also going through some Piece Together. I don't believe we have an anime recap, since maybe Sam deserves a week off after the last episode. I want to say huge thanks to Ken, Steve, and Sam, of course, for going through 10 episodes of the anime.
10 episodes.
It was 10, yeah.
I was actually
10.
somewhat prepared. I just hadn't seen the Egghead ones, and also it was 11 o'clock at night, I think, which is partially our fault too. But I also
Some say that Sam is still talking to this day.
Some do say that. And also Ken
And in true fashion, there will not be an anime recap tonight.
Exactly.
now back to
Reset
tradition.
the clock.
Sorry to Matt Damon, we ran out of time.
We'll see you in 10 weeks. But yeah, no, and also big thanks to Ken and Steve. If you haven't listened to last week's episode, we have a 10-part a Deca anime recap for you. We also
We
have...
should just start calling them voyage sets because they're about as long as
Oh
one.
my god.
It's One
Zach,
Piece Podcast,
Zach,
Season 1, Voyage 1. Yeah, sorry.
I did like how on the YouTube thumbnail, when you listen to the episodes, they went off the screen
Thank you.
and just
I
kept
appreciate
going.
it.
Oh,
I like
very
that.
well
I
done.
enjoyed it.
The collection sets, I think they were not the voyages.
Well,
No, the voyages are like
13
12
episodes.
13
Yeah,
Yeah.
12, 13, yeah.
yeah, we're not up to collection sets yet. So give Sam a little more time and we'll get there.
I wound up no, this is One Piece, so I could talk about it. Who cares? I recently bought the rest of Whole Cake, and now I'm up to like in home video because I used to be on the ball with that, and now that like home video is so low priority for Crunchyroll these days, it kind of fell off. But now I'm at a point I'm like, do I really want to buy voyage sets for Wano, or should I just buy collections? Because now they just do a weird thing. They release a voyage, and then like a month later, or like a few months later, the collection comes out, and it's cheaper.
You know, back during the pandemic lockdown, I was looking at my like season 1 voyage sets on DVD, and I was ripping some of the video to have on my hard drive. And
We won't tell anyone.
the video looks like ass.
Yeah, it's
DVD quality, circa 2007.
I'll take your
yeah.
guys'
The problem
word.
is, yeah, at this point, the HD versions of those 4x3 episodes, you either get those like AI upscaled ones from like the Japanese YouTube channel, or you know, you get the widescreen special edition ones that are just on the Blu-rays, and I don't know, you can't win there.
No, you can't. So yeah, today, manga recap, Piece Together. Yeah, listen to last week's episode. We also talked about the midterm results for the WT 100 in depth. Doesn't quite describe it, but it's fun.
Every time you say WT 100, I think you're saying WTF 100.
I know, me too.
Like we're going through Mark Maron's best guess.
Or the former World Taekwondo Federation.
Were those results gerrymandered too?
Yes.
We're the only anime manga podcast that's ever going to reference Maron because we've been around as long as he was. So
yeah, that's really bask in our ability to reference Mark Maron.
I was still listening to the Mark Maron's podcast when we started the show. I was commuting to work at the time on the subway.
No, I think we started first. I think we both.
Oh, we've lapped Mark Maron?
I think we've lapped him. Yeah. Like, I think he started the same year. But I think we started a couple months before him, actually. I'm not positive. So all the Mark Maron fans out there, hold yourselves back. Before we get started, we'll have a little piece of news coming up. But first, patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast helps support our amazing editors and artists and many more.
Ask Dispiece questions.
And you can ask Dispiece questions. And also, what else can you get? Steve, what can our $12 a month or up subscribers receive?
If you didn't know already, our $12 tier is the monthly Sticker Crew tier, where every month you vote in a poll between two designs that we've previously used for episode images and decide which one will be made into a sticker. Up until recently, where one of the last appearances on the appearances on this podcast, I made the choice because the April poll was tied 50-50 with 30 votes. And instead of just rigging the polls and voting, I decided you're getting both stickers, but that means there'll be no poll in May. There is a post on Patreon if you need more info there, but you're getting both the Nami design and the Luffy design. Obviously, if you were signed up in April, you're getting the Nami, but you still have the rest of May to sign up if you like that Luffy design. Both designs updated by me with a little bit of TLC and manga and anime accuracy. So
you're being too modest. You really enhanced the Nami one a lot. You made it a full-size Lego figure.
Actually, no, I could use more compliments. Please, Ken, go on.
Oh, Steve, where should I begin?
Okay, guys, all fair. Let's keep this all fair. No, thank you. Huge thanks to Steve, obviously, for doing all of that. And
he had to make the Jellicle choice.
It's true. Anyway, so please subscribe to us on Patreon. The one piece of news is about the One Piece accidental joke that I'm very proud of. Complete accident.
Have they found it?
No, they haven't. What's even the point in watching if they haven't found it, right, Steve? Like,
right.
Thank you.
It's such a good dig.
They haven't found the One Piece yet.
When are they going to get to the One Piece?
Yeah, there's nothing about the journey is worthwhile, is always what I say. Anyway, the One Piece is, for those who somehow do not know, is the series coming out by Netflix that is going to...
Studio Wit.
And Studio Wit, thank you. And is going to condense the One Piece anime, essentially, with new animation, new everything. And we have just...
New adaptation choices.
Did we get any voice actor or actress confirmations?
No.
I don't think so, because in replies to our news, there are a ton of people talking about Tanaka, whether or not she's gonna be involved.
This is the most news we've gotten about this series in
since the
2
announcement.
years.
Yeah.
I want to say
they announced
minimal.
that what season 1 is going to be.
Yeah, Ed, you could, if you have it in front of you, you can.
I think I remember reading that it's season 1 of The One Piece is going to be 7 episodes, 300 minutes, which is
correct.
About 43 minutes per episode, which is basically an old episode of broadcast TV, but with no ads.
Yeah, but you could always have the ads if you'd like. And it's covering the first 50 chapters, which I think brings us into the middle of Baradier. And that's season 1, and it comes out February of 2027, which does not surprise me. Which means we could look forward to the rest of East Blue in 2030. Is that the rate they're going right now?
It'll probably be later.
It's I'm 9 months away still.
I'm willing to bet it's later in the year
than February.
No, no information. I have no information there that can confirm that. I just have a feeling, knowing how Netflix operates, at least with their original animation. But who knows?
That weird splitsky they do with the release dates, where it's like it's actually one whole season that we split in half, and it's not an excuse.
But we'll call it season 2.
What? But it's not.
But the employees don't get a raise for working on a new season. That's where my knowledge comes in.
Normal industry.
Those are good finger guns there.
But I don't know. I don't know what that applies to with anime. But I'm kind of bewildered by this announcement. I was like,
"This is insane, right?"
7 episodes. Like, I don't know.
So the same amount of time and episodes as the Netflix version, and somehow we're accomplishing less. Let's unpack that.
Well, I'm kind of relieved by that because the one thing I don't want them to rush through this stuff, which I'm constantly in fear of. That's what's going to happen. They're just going to breeze through this material.
I mean, they were.
Steve's just living in fear, crying in a corner.
Oh no, I'm at my desk.
Bitching
on the internet.
He's up at night praying, please don't rush through Syrup Island, or Syrup Village.
Well, it's also an island. No, the island is called.
I heard.
What's it called again? I don't remember.
I heard 4 adult men wait for the gap.
Usopp's. They're not as sticky.
So
Usopp's Syrup Adventure.
I agree about like the amount of episodes. I feel like I'm one of the few optimistic people on the internet about it. Like I'm still generally optimistic about the production. I think the pace sounds pretty good so far. The problem is, as you said, we're only getting 7 episodes. Like if you're gonna do this, I feel like give us 14, give us all of East Blue and one. First of all, one chunk is awful. We shouldn't be doing that anyway. We should be doing once a week. Mm-hmm. The way God intended. And but I am also pessimistic about the release date time. I agree with you, Steve. The fact that we've gotten only stills and they've announced the same stills as new
stills.
Not even stills. You're right. You're right. The concept drawings.
Those are illustrations and character designs based off of existing manga panels.
Right. And I think they announced the same illustrations twice as if they were new each time, right? I believe that's the case. So I am not that optimistic about the time frame personally.
Didn't that come out for the first time during like One Piece Day on like 2 years ago?
Yeah. And
then, remember that I was still in the hospital then.
Yeah, and then it came out again like a couple of weeks ago, as if it were brand new. Yeah,
it was announced too early. They should not have announced it as early as they did because it made it seem like it was something in the pipeline, and now clearly like it was nowhere. It was like when Smash Bros got announced and Sakurai was like, "Oh, I didn't know I was working on a new Smash Bros." It kind of feels like that same kind of energy.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, and I think most of us also understand kind of how this isn't quite Hollywood, but the kind of how the production process looks, and it's a multi-year process. And
I'm actually kind of excited about it because they have the opportunity to not have to make the same adaptation choices as they did when they were in a TV weekly format.
No, I'm 100% excited for it. However, the things I'm giving guff about is the fact that it was announced too early. And it's too few episodes that are coming in this batch, which is unfortunately both kind of symptomatic of like a larger and more common problem, I feel like, in media generally. The second one more particularly. Yeah. Any other thoughts on the One Piece?
I just keep getting the vibe, as you mentioned, how they've been bringing out the same character sheets. It's like, look, we have new character sheets. It's like, no. That's the old one. It's the same one. It's very much like that old SNL Dateline bit where it's like, we only have one picture of the criminal. Here he is on a roller coaster. Now he's going to Paris. And I'm like, do you have a storyboard? Show me one storyboard. I need to know you've been doing something.
Is that the Keith Morrison voice?
Yes.
The best approximation of my Keith Morrison, yes.
Yeah, I found out like a month or two ago that he was Matthew Perry's stepdad.
Damn.
Come here for the One Piece criticism. Stay here for the Matthew
Perry lore.
Yeah,
that makes him the grand stepdad of Jungle Boy.
Anyway, you guys ready to get into the show?
No, Matthew Perry from Friends.
Oh, I'm thinking of Luke Perry.
No, Sideshow Luke Perry.
You know, the Will of the P. There's a lot of Perrys out there.
The Will of P.
I wonder what they do.
The Walter and Perry.
Always like pointing out things that don't show up on an audio podcast. The deep stare of disdain in Zach's eyes. So much pain. So
let's move into the next segment.
Yes.
This is the manga recap for chapter 1182, Zaza. You can read this chapter and all chapters as soon as they come out at shonenjump.viz.com or mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp. Before we get into anything here, I just want to say it's just fun to say Zaza. As a fellow Z lover, I'm grateful to see the representation here.
Yeah, and when I saw the title of this chapter, the first things I thought of were either Jaja Gabor from Green Acres or the basketball player Zaza Pachulia from the nation of Georgia, who was born in the Soviet Union.
Yes,
in the Caucasus.
I also thought of that basketball player.
Zach.
Or some obnoxious way to say pizza.
Or the drag king, the drag queen from La Cage aux Folles. I don't know, man.
Zach, the way you just said it, though, it reminded me of Jerry Seinfeld saying people like saying salsa.
Salsa.
I sing salsa.
Zaza.
Salsa. It's fun.
It is fun to say.
Salsa Lele.
Isn't this also the name of? Isn't this a Pokemon game? Pokemon Legends.
Legends Zaza.
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 Z-A-Z-A.
It's an Italian restaurant in Stamford, Connecticut.
Remember that movie, The Divine Secrets of the Zaza Sisterhood?
Oh, it's a slang term for cannabis.
Everything's a slang term for cannabis.
That's true. He's right.
If you want it.
Yeah, that's true. And it's
Emu would outlaw.
cannabis. 100%.
Thou shalt drop that joint.
That's at least level 4 in Impel Down.
Oh, damn you, joint boy.
Zaza with
joint boy.
Joint boy? I'll rate it. There's also
That's why he's always laughing.
That does actually explain it. You already made that image too, Steve, so there you go. It's all done.
That's what we have.
Yeah.
Where do you think the cloud comes from?
What was that one called? What was that one called again?
Munchies.
No, I can't. Whatever. There's also a Moroccan avocado milkshake called Zaza, and that sounds fantastic. I would like that. Anyway, Ed, what's going on the comment from Oda this week?
Oda says, dinner with Nobuyuki Sakuma was delish. I want to do a men's gourmet tour when the series is over. So, this is Oda doing one of his two favorite things, eating or going to concerts. That's mostly what he talks about. But I was looking up who Nobuyuki Sakuma is, and he's a TV producer. He created a show called God Tongue, which is it's like a variety show where they do like challenges and stuff. And one of the things is like the kiss resisting game where they drink and one by one get stuck in a room with a adult video actress, and they must not kiss her and hold out for an hour while she tries to seduce them. Apparently, this is available on Japanese Netflix. I think he also works with TV Tokyo as a producer.
Thank you, Ed.
So he's pretty notable. I mean, yeah.
Sounds it.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same age. That's the one thing I saw. So that does not surprise me. Any other thoughts on the comment? I haven't seen that show. Let's go to the cover page.
Yes.
Ed, yeah, go for it.
Yes. It's a reader request for Isho savoring a bowl of udon, painstakingly crafted by a fox and tanuki by Toshikazu. And, we can see the tanuki on the right and the fox on the left with their headbands tied to avoid sweating on the food. And we can see that...
It helps when you have fur.
Yeah, and we can see that Isho, despite being blind, labels his bowl. It says Isho Udon on the bowl as he slurps down noodles.
You don't know if he's the one who labeled that. Maybe it was the tanuki and the fox.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is this one of the scratchiest cover pages we've seen in a while? I feel like. Is that just me?
No, it looks a little scratchy, right?
Than usual. Even the background.
Isho's lips could look kind of swollen, like he started eating the udon when it was still too hot.
Well, the lips are the least of the issue. I feel the background actually feels way less polished than usual.
And the grain on the wood on the left there.
Yeah, and look at that plant coming out of Fujitora's head. I mean, it's cute. Yeah, but it definitely looks like it was the last thing that they did, and that they just got it out the door. That's just kind of the. Yeah.
I just enjoy that it says it was painstakingly crafted. Like they made all this like attention.
We don't see them crafting it.
Yeah, we don't see them crafting it. But I feel like they put all this time into the presentation of the meal, and like, oh, he's blind. He can't see it anyway.
That might be. Yeah.
If that's the joke, that's great.
That might be. Steve, any thoughts on the cover?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, Ed, why don't we start the chapter?
Yes. So in the aftermath of Loki's dragon form blasting Imu into the side of the tree, I think?
Yes. It's a big tree.
We hear his presence is still there, and he's wheezing and huffing and puffing, and Loki starts in. Or is that...
No, this is Loki, because Ratatoskr doesn't really talk.
He's just sort of hopping onto Loki's head. Maybe he was on his back.
Yeah.
And he's sort of zooming in there. Ragnar is jumping in and doing a little pose as he moves up to Loki's head, I guess.
So this is, the first page is released like a day, or it's released on Friday before on the official site. So someone mentioned the scale here, and that like that sound effect might indicate that he's shrinking Loki. Because if you do see Ratatoskr at the top panel looks tiny, like an insect on him, versus on the the middle, the Fishural panel, he looks much smaller they look much closer in size, Ratatoskr and him.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's almost the size of Loki's head, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. And I will thank our Discord folks for finding that. I'm not going to take credit for that, but yeah.
Yes, and Loki continues. It's hard to keep him in sight when I'm so huge. As he's huffing and puffing,
which is assume why he shrunk, but maybe.
And we can, I guess, in that next panel is we can see Imu basically blasted, and he's stuck into the side of the tree. And with the 3 dots, he's eating it as the smoke rises from his. It's not quite a crater, but he's stuck in there. And Imu begins, Nidhugger, to think that I would see thee again in this world. As he sort of wheezes. He takes 1 hit and he gets an asthma attack.
No,
Traitor.
He doesn't have the Zaza. He wouldn't ever do that. I do like how his neck looks like it also has ellipses on it. I was just thinking that as Ed was saying.
Yeah.
Okay, this Ken. That's my audience.
It does. As Loki continues to whooshing, and Imu gives a big cough.
How is he flying?
He's got wings.
Loki has wings.
Oh, he does have wings. Duh. Yeah.
Yeah. And Imu continues. Snow. Ah, indeed. Lightning caused by an impact with ice. Thy affinity for one another was always great. Ragnar, so thou stayed as thou were in days past, waiting for a new master to come along. How familiar thy sight is. And we get a note box for Hammer, Ragnar, Squirrel Fruit, Mythical Type, Model Ice Squirrel, Ratatoskr.
Is Hammer his last name or his first?
Shut up.
By the way,
Ragnar was my father. Call me Hammer.
Can I say?
So I guess the ability to give devil fruits to things existed in the
past,
way in the ancient past. Maybe Vegapunk rediscovered it because it was
that would make sense.
it was said to be like his discovery, or he was able to make it happen for, I think, was it for Lasso or for
no, it was
for all the items, I think.
Well, yeah, Funk Freed. It was generally
Freed.
mentioned, I think, for Lasso or I do want to say, Delaney, I know you were our very special guest, but we also have very special guest, translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump and Manga Plus, Stephen Paul, is joining us here just in time.
What's up?
How was your Mother's Day, Stephen?
Wonderful. Great time.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was there, so we're one page in. Was there anything you wanted to touch on that you may have
Did you
missed
talk
on this
about
one
how
page?
the name of this chapter is a slang term for weed?
Yes.
We did actually.
yes.
We so did,
wouldn't you know
man.
it, Steven?
What's up? Yeah. Nice. Okay.
How could
I'm in
people
good
not
hands
like
then.
this show?
Actually, there was one thing I was curious about. What does it say on Isho's teacup on the front on the cover page?
Tea.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the bowl says Isho Udon, right? I think,
Yeah.
well, of course, I'm looking at the English one, so it's covered by text, but it looks like it's probably Chohang, which would be like odds and evens, which I think is like a name for dice rolling. Yeah. In fact, that was maybe you recognize that, Zach, from Akane Banashi. There was a story arc involving a dice game where they had to guess. They put down bets on whether it was going to be an odd or an even roll. So
Was that the? Well, I'm not going to guess which one.
Zach, what's that really stressful anime about betting that you like?
Kaiji?
Kaiji?
Yeah, Uncut
I want to
Gems.
say. Oh, also, Steve, I'm never going to have another time to mention this, and I'm going to forget to. I saw Crunchyroll was advertising the show that inspired Squid Game, and the answer was not Kaiji, and it was Liar Game, which I have not read or seen. So I
haven't seen it either.
But I'm like, how could you? That is clickbait. Because I'm clicking it because I'm like, oh, this is something about Kaiji, and it wasn't.
I do find most of those those groupings on Crunchyroll to be cringe anyway.
It was an email. Like I didn't go out of my way to see it.
Snuggle up in bed with this shonen. Anime that has incest, but not that cringe. You know?
Have you actually?
Netflix and chill
Anime
with
you don't
Bunny
want to see your
Drop.
parents walk. Parents, yeah.
Nobody watched Koikaze.
I won't.
It was quite kaze.
Pretty sure
Okay.
that snuggling up in bed with a shonen is illegal.
It's frowned upon in most countries.
Yeah.
It should be all of them.
Ken, go ahead.
All right. Well, just before we move on, I'm just happy that we have the confirmation for what Ragnar actually is, because we were debating that chapters and chapters ago.
Mhm.
Like, is it a squirrel? Is it a fruit? What it came first? And now it is a
What
hammer.
kind of
Is it
fruit?
a chipmunk?
Yeah. So it is a hammer that ate a devil fruit. The devil
And the
fruit
devil
happens
fruit-
to be
Yeah, is
So the devil fruits existed back in the ancient past.
yes, or
Alrighty.
1,000 years ago-ish. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I just can't help but raise the question because Spondum said it was Vegapunk that discovered this.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Like,
Well, I mean, Vegapunk researched the Void Century.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible. Yeah,
Well, and then-
I thought Ed. Yeah,
And then we have the squirrel took over the hammer or whatever. So that seems to run counter to what we're seeing here as well. So there's definitely some confusion going
I'm sure we'll get into this later on, but we can start debating okay, did all these powers and gods once exist and then became fruits, or because if the Ratatasker squirrel was his own thing and then became a devil fruit that then entered into the hammer, that's a whole other discussion waiting to happen. So,
Mhm.
but for now, we'll just continue on.
yeah.
So on the next page, we have Ragnar putting both his little paws out and doing a big ice attack against Emu, going shooting ice. And then Loki
It
says,
looks like he's doing Force Lightning.
a little bit, yeah. As he has both palms out, giving it his best. And then Loki follows up with okay, let's go. He's charging a big lightning attack and does a Ragnar Quint arrow. and it looks like just like dozens and dozens of lightning bolts. I can't tell if it's shooting through the snow. It looks like it's shooting through the snow. Ragnir's making to make like little like spears of ice lightning. I'm not sure whether that's what's happening, but that's what my first interpretation was. And then Emu prepares to block it, raising a giant halo of eyes above him, saying, "Gazing eclipse." And we have a bunch more of those Kingdom Hearts shadow heartless things pouring out of the eyes, and it's just colliding with everything. So on the next page, just you see
chaos.
It's just chaos. It's Loki's attack counteracting Emu's attack, hitting Ragnir's attack, and just chaos across the entire screen.
Yeah, this is
looks like one of those heartless things goes through Loki's wing, his dragon wing.
Yes, it does seem.
Yeah, they're kind of like almost like bombs or burning him. Like they're definitely doing damage, and they're not blocking all of them. So
yeah, well, when you're that big too, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah. So some interesting details here.
Emu can apparently hit the broadside of a barn.
Broadside of a dragon. Yeah. So the really interesting attack that Emu does here, which I was very torn on, like how to handle, because Oda is doing like several different things here. So the actual name of the attack in Japanese is like it's like a Japanese, not a romanization, but a katakanization of tsitsi mittel, which is a type of, it is not the name of a god, but it is a type of god from I think it's Aztec, and I believe it's like
sounds like it.
Yeah, it's a female deity, type of deity that is related to eclipses, solar eclipses, which is really which is obviously what the eclipse thing here, and the kanji mean that he used was eclipse and then bombardment. So that's where obviously the bombing, you get that pretty directly.
Bombardment.
But what makes it a lot trickier is the fact that if you just read that name like as if it were Japanese, it would be like tsui tsui mitoru. And so tsui tsui in Japanese is sort of like involuntary, or like you can't help but blank. And then mitoru is sort of like it's either to stare, like to gaze at, or to or it's kind of a dialectical way of just saying looking at. And so which makes it appear very much as though like Oda is making a joke about staring into an eclipse. Like you can't help but stare into an eclipse because it sounds exactly like that.
And Emu is made of eyes, so he can't help it.
And so you have the eyes, the eye motif in his like little ring of omen, and then it turning into bombs. And so I'm already like I've already since working on it, I'm already like, well, maybe I could have done this instead, but it's very tricky to do without like overloading or kind of bogging it down with too much information. But I do I'm like, man, I really wish I'd gotten the name of the tsitsi mittel in there too. So I may maybe I'll do like tsitsi mittel, like gazing eclipse in the other bowl or something like that. But yeah, so he's doing some very multi-layered sort of like reference and joking around. It is classic Oda when he comes up with these sort of things. But
and what's the deal with the Ragna Quint arrow? Is there anything going on there?
That's an interesting one because it was Ragna. You remember what was it last time? Ragna Izuchi or something. So clearly he likes using Ragna as part of his attack names. Being a reference to Ragnir. And then it was like Ragna Goero, where it was go was 5 and arrow was just like as in the English arrow. And I was like, that's kind of weird because like clearly it is not visually it has nothing to do with 5. Like he's shooting a bazillion. They look like tracer bullets that he's shooting out through this ice cloud. So I'm not really sure what he was going for there. So I just, I went with the Latin quintero, just because that sounds coolish. But
so it's spelled kind of like a tsetse fly, like tsetse middle.
TZI, I think is the
I finally found it on Wikipedia. But a few interesting facts is that it's often described as demon or devils. But the second, of course, and I'm sure Steve knows this, but it's one of the 8 monsters from around the globe to appear as antagonists in Be Cool Scooby-Doo in Mysteries of the Disorient Express.
Wow.
This is the crossover we never knew we wanted. Yeah.
And Persona 4.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, where are we in this? Can you finish the page, right? Oh,
yeah, there's not.
Oh, sorry. There was an actual serious thing I want to say. That's super interesting, first of all, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how it's kind of an inverse eclipse because it's instead of like the dark part in the middle and the sun on the outside. But, yeah, I wanted to ask also, so we find out a little later, I think, and also Imu had previously described his power similar to like
as
how
military
Capone does as military.
Right.
So the bombardment thing is also very interesting to me, and that's hard to get across.
The bombardment, and I think you guys did touch on it, like the very first time you saw him using Omen. I don't think I was on that chapter, but Oda very conspicuously uses these, like, it sounds like guns are reloading, like when he's doing his little hand movements.
Yes.
So there's a lot of like chunk and like chunk and stuff like that, which is, I think that's kind of what he's trying to convey here, is that these are almost like military, like modern military weapons that Imu is using.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, does anyone else remember that Mission Impossible movie with Henry Cavill where he is in a fist fight and he basically reloads his arms?
Right, in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Maybe he was inspired by that.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting inspirations on this page. Steve.
All right. We cut to an even wider wide shot here, and we see Bonnie, who I feel like we have not seen in quite a long time here.
We saw her like getting swept up,
catching Sanji or whatever.
Yeah. But like few and far between over the arc.
Before that, I guess I should say. Yeah. But she's hearing, like, she's seeing that fire. She says, "Yikes, scary."
Bonnie just being a kid.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a cool way to be a kid. And we hear a voice say, "Bonnie, come back this way." And it's revealed to be Lilith. And Bonnie says, "Don't worry, I'm not going to try and fight that. Elders is one thing, but that, no." So, and Lilith says, "Of course not. I'm your guardian now. I'd never let you do such a thing." But Lilith ponders, "But who is that?" And we see that they're tending to Sanji here, who's looking kind of lifeless here on the ground right now.
He's a little splattered.
And Lilith continues saying, "He's clearly the superior of the Holy Knights of God, but he's not one of the 5 elders. In a massive organization." And then we do in this panel, it's a profile, and we see Lilith, but also we see, the Stella here, the original Vegapunk in the back here. I almost feel like the voice is going to transition. So it's like, in a massive organization lasting 800 years, it's only natural that power struggles will breed deeper and deeper darkness. Which would mean, I realize that's less Einstein and more,
I think it's perfectly fine.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Strangelove?
Cool.
Yeah, that sounded good to me.
Sure, let's go with that. But then Sanji arises, and Bonnie says, "Hey, Sanji, you're too hurt to..." And Sanji grumbles, "There's no other choice for me, Bonnie." And we go to a flashback here, and this is Killing Ham saying, "How's that, Sanji? I didn't even need to take you out myself. Though it's incredible you're even alive right now."
Perfect
and Sanji,
voice.
who's just...
What a bitch.
Just completely lifeless on the ground, but still speaking. He says, "Where are you going?" And Killingham snickers, "Back to my mission. Can't you see my rippling strength?" And he says, so long, sucker." And he just takes off like a rocket. And that
I love Sanji's reaction, like, "Whoa."
Well, that's just like the
it's like he's jumping off of
the kickback.
Yeah, it's kind of more like just like the kickback, from like the explosion hitting him. So really, it's truly hitting someone when they're down.
He takes off the zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets pummeled there, it looks like.
Yeah. But we cut back to Sanji charging. He says he still hasn't given up on kidnapping those children. And the Lilith and Bonnie yell out to Sanji, but he darts off and says, "I can't let all of our battles be for nothing. This is the land that Usopp and Luffy have been dreaming about. I'm going to keep Elbaf safe." And someone says, "Huh?" And he launches off into the sky, not too different from how Killingham did. But he says, "I'm going to keep Elbaf safe. It's the land of giant, beautiful women." And two women are left behind. Just, they're speechless. They're doing the ellipses where it means it's their silence says plenty.
Yes,
I got nothing.
It's the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
As we go to
Ken, is it okay if I throw this to Steven since he joined in the middle? Or
yes, I was going to ask if you wanted Steven or Delaney to take this one.
Yeah, Steven, go for it.
Okay. We are now at the Owl Library, where Saul and Robin have been trying to resolve the disaster going on there. And we hear them saying, "So round the back, there's a hidden tunnel ending in a secret room? And you managed to protect all the books from the fire. Well done, Biblo. How convenient." I may have added that editorially. Yeah, it turns out there's just a secret second library where we can hide all the books.
So it's all tied up in a neat little package.
Yes, Biblo, of course, looking very wise and mysterious, just silently
to be fair,
looks
all
on.
Owls have that look.
Yes,
I know because Biblo has been living in my backyard for the last month. But
nice.
Right.
And Robin says, "Thank you. I thought they were all lost." And Saul, speaking for the readers, is like, "Yeah, I'm mighty glad too. And if I gotta admit it, I'm even more perplexed about you than before, Biblo." And Biblo guiltily looks at him in silence.
That's the most sus owl I've ever seen.
By the way, no, the owl is like, "What the fuck? I just saved all those books," and you're like, "Don't
What's your
question
deal?"
it. Yeah, damn.
I think Mike Patton just said he looks so tired.
Yeah,
he just looks so
he
tired.
does.
Guys, that's what I look like every single day of the week. I have Biblo. Biblo's my spirit animal here.
Yeah, he kind of looks like the the really sad looking old man with the sad smile who is in all the memes. Yeah, shrugging like, what can I do? It's a living. And then we go to the
Flintstones thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's the librarian owl.
He's the librarian.
We're a Flintstone thing.
Over in the Sea Cloud port by the Western Village, where we have another little map with the branch root, the gnarled and very erect branch root, and the Western Village, and then the rainbow, of course. And we see a figure who we will momentarily find out is Sommers, and he appears to be with his newfound strength. He is like tossing a giant ship. We know it's a giant ship because it's got all the shields and the mastheads and everything. And he's saying, "And here we go!" Whoo! As he tosses the ship down, and it lands with a dabloosh on the clouds. And yep, there he is. He's got the Omen halo over his head, and he's got his transponder snail. And he says, "Hey, hello, this is Sommers speaking. Did I say Sommers? I meant Super Sommers." So now we can add.
Oh shit! He went Super Summers.
We can add.
This is to go
Super Summers.
This is to go even further. Summers.
So we can now add gimmick infringement to his list of crimes. And
if Sonic were here, he'd be very offended.
Sonic.
Yeah, or Frankie, or
Or really anyone.
Or Vegeta, or anyone, yeah.
He says, Super Vegeta.
I've found a giant ship to use. Bring the brats over here in 5 minutes. Bring the brats. Barbecue party.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Now it's Steve again.
You got it. Over at the pub in the Western Village, someone's saying, look at that forest. It's like a war scene. But now we see up from above Gerd's head, we see that Chopper has wrapped bandages around her thumbs. And
bandages heal everything.
Benders also bend. Chopper says, the cut through your fingers was incredibly sharp and clean, so they should reattach, but it'll take months for a full recovery. And Gerd's like, thank you, Chopper. I feel so inadequate. I'm supposed to be the one who heals everyone else. And Chopper retorts saying, there was nothing you could do about that. And we cut to a wide here. We see Haruden is down. Everyone's doing the planking in this chapter. And Howard's on the floor. Some of the other giants are surrounding as Colin is glazing up Chopper here, saying, "Thanks, Dr. Chopper, for helping my mom and everyone else." And Chopper says, "It's only emergency care. Once we're through this disaster, I could give them proper treatment." And Roto hears is like, "Ooh, ultra rare Gerd, my precious as chopped fingers. Am I dreaming? Is this official?"
Good job, Steven.
I kind of
aren't they crewmates?
That choice of words is a little like lost on me. I'm not sure what exactly.
Yeah, this is all
that's a play on.
Yeah, all of his stuff is like super modern.
He's a Dorcas.
Well, all of his stuff is like super modern, like slang, and especially like around like he a lot of his stuff is very rooted in like mobile gaming, and that's why that's where the ultra rare thing came from, because he was all about collecting, and that was my way of like showing his sort of collector mentality. And so yeah, a lot of his stuff is like the sort of things that people say in Japanese when they're talking about their mobile game blorbos that they get, like bring them home
is
and stuff like
canon?
that. Right? Yeah, that would be a fun way to do that.
Variant.
Actually, is this canon is pretty great.
That is pretty good. Yeah,
funny.
It's a Gerd misprint. It's worth more.
I almost thought you were cooked Gerd.
Oh god!
But now you're actually based.
He says, "I would give you all of my fingers if I could," and Gerd just says, "Don't."
that
says,
may be
no, fingerprints. I don't think so.
And Roto says, "Harsh, I am unworthy of the gift of your sharp tongue."
See, instead of an ellipses,
smiles.
should be die. But whatever.
No, she's
nice.
not Nami.
Yeah.
She looks like Nami, but she's not Nami. But she smiles and nods and says, "But when I saw how you risked your life for your brother Bjorn, it did make me think a bit better of you." And Roto goes, "Whoa!" 3 exclamation parts, and who?
Someone
I don't know. Just someone, maybe it's Chopper, says Roto squirts blood when he gets excited.
I doubt it's Chopper.
He says,
"Who is he, Sanji?"
No, I think it is though, because he's on the
No, you're
table
right.
where
It's a
Chopper was in
tiny-
the last panel.
"Yeah."
But why
And
would
there's little
Chopper know
lines
this?
around him.
He's a doctor.
doctor.
He's supposed to know.
He's done all their checkups.
Oh, this one squirts blood out of his nose too. It has that rare condition Sanji also has for some
Chopper's
reason.
like, "Well, we got the test back, and I want to alarm
Chopper has
you,
a Pokedex of all the
but,
giants. He knows all their special
Sir-
powers.
Sir, you're a weep and it's
your
terminal.
heart rate is a little high, so
I like that, Delaney. You go ahead.
Nosebleed
Roto-
Foosh, which is I think something that used to appear in the SBS a lot.
Yes, it was. Oh my god, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
and nosebleeds just used to appear in most manga,
Mhm.
but
And still do.
I think One Piece is the only thing that carries on this trope.
No, I bet you it's still. No, I feel
And
like I've seen
Shonen.
it. Well, in Shonen, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But now, because of
And he
woke.
says, "I have an excess of ultra rare Gerd heart." And And this child
Is
says,
this
there
Bjorn?
goes her respect.
That's Bjorn, yeah.
It's okay. I
Yeah.
was hoping it was. Continue.
And then we get Team Zorro, port side of Western Village. And I know a lot of the villages look the same. They just have like a castle up on top.
Well, they're named like that, too.
Yeah. Oh, wait. This is
the main village.
Sorry, because this is
the main village, yeah.
This is all the Western Village, yeah.
I was about to say, I was about to say, I'm like, yeah, that was actually where Somers was at.
Yeah.
So,
you can see like down
Where the ship
where he
is.
threw the ship
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
where the ship he threw the ship down. Yeah.
Yeah.
and
With the arrow.
Zorro is speaking, and you could tell he's speaking because there's a little Zorro head in the speech bubble that says, I appreciate it, Goldberg. Our legs can't carry us fast. And Goldberg says, it's fine. I'm the only one on the new giant pirate who didn't get horribly wounded. Plush Elbaf's in peril. I appreciate you helping us out. And Zorro says, no worries. Our captain's a friend's country is my country kind of guy. And
He really
Goldberg
is.
Says, and then Goldberg says, I could see why Howard didn't think so highly of him. But we get a close-up here of Zorro, and he's just... he is throbbing. Maybe, he's getting over his pain, and he's holding something in his hands. But he says that black flame, though it was transforming into steel bullets and bombs, it was transforming into steel bullets and bombs, and he clearly helped the Knight of God, who were already here, power up further. If we don't put an end to them soon, things will get out of hand. As these steel bullets leave Zorro's hands.
So he's like playing with them.
He's flipping, he's flipping it with
Yeah.
his thumb.
Mhm.
So he obviously got those out of, I guess, his wound. This raises,
What a badass.
well, obviously, Zorro. The one thing we know. I was gonna say this almost raises more questions as to Emu's power and what exactly is happening. We go to the next page, to the port of the Western Village. Really the important village. The Mary Sue of villages, or the whatever. Summers, I messed up. I summoned the wrong thing. Killingham, you didn't. Summers responds as Killingham, obviously speaking. Yes, I did what I'm afraid of. I got overzealous. You idiot. Now you gotta be freaking us out. But you can still control it, right? Right? Hello? Yeah. It's still asleep. I think so. As a lawyer, I say I think so for every
Still
answer.
asleep did.
Yeah, it's still asleep did. It's still good. Well, what's done is done. Just hurry. We don't have time. What about Gunko? Summers asks, and Killingham responds, I saw her on the way here, but she's gotta be dead, man. What? So be it. Don't actually care about her. Great Emu's body is not meant to withstand the outside. Interesting note. But even pushing...
He basically lives in a greenhouse, right? In the butterfly room?
He does basically live in a greenhouse. He lives in a butterfly house.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the devil boy in the ball.
It's the emoots.
The emoops.
Thank you.
Okay.
The terrarium.
The devil boy in
here
the
all
ball.
night.
Sorry, I'm writing that down. Where were we? The strength, but even pushing past that, the strength we need and the strength we ought to destroy are both right here. Do not disappoint the Great One. We must live up to his expectations, Killingham. Of course. Okay. We go to the Western Village, which is where we were. It's the main part, outside the castle walls.
Take a shot every time it says Western Village in this
Steven,
chapter.
did you know we're in the Western Village?
I'm glad you
Rain. Well,
this is a West Side Story this week. So.
God damn it.
I hate it. Rain. It's a downpour out of nowhere, and Zeus left already. Everyone's like, what does this mean? Oh no, the flooded is indoors too. I want to don't let the wounded get wet. And Killingham says to supposedly his sleeptid, go capture those brats. And the moms are now, and moms and relatives are including
or isn't that one the teacher?
Oimo, and that's
Ange.
Anje, yeah. And Stanson's there. Anyway, we have Colin, Ilva, help us, they say, as they're sinking into a hand. There's something outside. Killingham
kind of looks like Chaos from Sonic Adventure. The water body.
Oh, yeah, that's beyond me. Killingham begins his little screed. We were born in a place so high, it's above all the rain clouds. That's why we have no plants. It really makes no sense.
That's why we can't grow food for ourselves.
That might actually be more sense, yeah. But they would have, I don't completely get that, but whatever. Water coming down from the sky? It's a mysterious terror to us. After the people of the D, you know them, right, kids? And Nika, I know you know them. It was the most common boogeyman they warned us about. That in the lower world, there's a monster called the Rain God that dumps water on top of your head. So introducing my nightmare.
Rain for the Rain God.
Delaney.
Skulls for the Skull Throne.
Delaney, my nightmare. No.
My nightmare, Delaney.
My nightmare, Delaney.
Let's eat, Grandma. We've got a big old spread of the Western Village of Western Village fame, getting absolutely flooded with rainwater, by a massive, vaguely feminine based on the face figure. You got the huge veil, the hat, the beaded hat, large beaded ring behind the head, much like the other god halos, multiple arms, all wearing bracelets and a huge robe, just absolutely fucking up the town. And a
Mecha
big old...
Mecha Shiva.
Yeah.
And a big old title that says, "What We Were Afraid of, God of Rain, Zaza," parentheses, sleeped, end parentheses. And I
like
believe...
that font this week. That's one of the better fonts we've had, I feel like, for this. Sorry, go ahead. Because they've been awful, mostly.
Help us.
And then I think that's Killingham, like a fucking promoter or something, saying, "Appearing to the rhythm of the prayers for rain. Ooh, it's Zaza, freaky." And of course,
well done,
the children are screaming, "Help us!" The giants.
Zaza
like,
Freaky sounded like her full name, like it was.
It's Zaza
drag
Freaky.
queen.
It's a disco name.
Guys, my new drag name, Zaza Freaky.
Yeah.
Oh my god, excellent drag name.
Sounds like a strip club announcer too. And now coming to the stage, it's Zaza Freaky.
Oda was just at one this past week, so that
she just immediately just goes through the poll.
Her lip sync is to West Ass Village.
Well, Zaza doesn't need to lip sync because she might not have any. But
well,
get a bucket and a mop for this West Ass Village.
She's dancing to the drums of precipitation.
Oh,
nice. God damn it, Ken.
Yeah. Another week, another good one. I love it. Drums of you had that locked and loaded. Ken.
I had that locked and loaded since like 12 o'clock today.
Yeah.
Wow, it took you an hour?
Shut up.
I was up to Ken thought of that at like 8 o'clock this morning and then just, sorry, you're not on the West Coast. 11 o'clock in the morning and you just sat there.
Exactly. Like, don't say anything.
With yourself.
Stop talking.
I better be invited on tonight.
Fingers intersecting. Exactly. You're just leaning back. Yeah.
I've done
and your
good
dog's
tonight.
looking at you like, dude, put that one back in the oven.
Yes.
She's not ready to cut into yet. And there's some pores in this town as the giants are swept away and the kids are stolen. And Killingham shouts, "Now take them away! Get ready, Summers!" And Summers says, "We can sail at any time." Thanks for pointing that out.
We can sail at any
then
time.
We've got
you could sail at any time.
We can sail.
What is happening?
Why did they call them breakfast treats?
Yeah, thank you.
And Goldberg and Zoro, who are walking the other way, see the massive rain god pouring hell down onto the Western Village. And Zoro says, uh-oh, something's going on in the village. And Goldberg says, should I turn around? And then meanwhile we cut to Sanji, who is...
So this took me a minute, but it is actually a very...
that?
So that is Sanji. In the distance, that is Goldberg and Zoro running through.
Okay.
So this is him reacting to Sanji approaching. He's like,
running back that way.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what's happening here. Yeah, it took me a minute for this one too, so don't feel...
Okay.
Yeah,
no worries.
Reading this on your phone.
Which I did.
And I guess that's Zoro who says, oh, nah. And then Sanji says, huh? And they shout seemingly across
the plains of Africa.
The plains, the whole forest of trees.
The rains.
Zoro says, hey, get the job done right. And Sanji says, same to you. And we get a to be continued.
Yeah.
I think this Zoro made the right call here, because if Zoro tried to take on Zaza instead, he would get swept away by the water, and soon he would realize that the goggles, they do nothing.
Excellent. I know that's going to mess up a slate, but that's deserves an applause.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
How long did it take you to come up with that one, Steve?
Like 5 seconds ago.
Steve, that was a great bit you did.
See?
Great bit, Steve.
I didn't sit on that.
No, that was good. That was good. That was good.
Quick on my feet, Steve.
Yeah, that's what they call you.
Good old Fleetfoot Steve.
So, that's the Zaza end of this chapter. Sorry. I don't know what I was doing there.
You sound like Goldberg talking. That's the end
no,
of
it's the Vegapunk almost.
Oh, yeah.
We're off next week, right?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm assuming, like, kind of talking shop, I guess, about about...
No, Golden Week is over. Oda's just taking a break, so yeah, good for him.
So I was going to say, yeah, you could tell this
go to more concerts.
It's a 15-page chapter, yeah. Or he could go back to see Zaza. He would, or he could have some more Zaza. It was a 15-page chapter, so I was assuming
Zaza's not
this
in
is
love with you, man. Come on.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I just got that. Zaza, the first thing that reminded that it like stuck out design wise, I was kind of thinking of Symbiotic Titan, for those who remember that show vaguely.
Look at the hair. Zaza's got bangs.
Yo.
Yeah, just like the transparent body is a super cool concept. I like that like made of water kind of. I like that. I am so down for. That is excellent. But
I'm obsessed with this design.
Thoughts
is
on
amazing.
Zaza. I guess thoughts on Zaza first, since that's the end.
I love this last bit with Zoro and Sanji. Like, the more things change, the things never change.
No, I don't think they do.
Well, an interesting thing about that interaction at the end, because it is, I mean, obviously, yes, Zoro and Sanji, they're always bickering, they're always harsh toward each other, and with the way that he wrote it, my first inclination was to be, to do it more like, okay, how do you make this a little snappier? Zoro would be saying like, hey, don't screw it up. And, Sanji says like, look who's talking or whatever, like bickering the way that they always do. But if you consider the circumstances and like what they're actually saying to each other, I think that would
save the children.
Yeah, that would be selling them a bit short. Like to have them be like, oh, don't screw it up because like I know you want to or whatever. I think is a little harsher than what this situation is actually representing. Like they both are, they are both on extremely important. Like this is, every second counts here. Like they are in an emergency situation, and they recognize, okay, he's going the other way. He's going the other, they're like, he's obviously doing something very important and something that needs to get done. And so I was glad that I ended up with something that is basically like, rather than being like, hey, don't fuck it up, it's like, hey, just get it done. Like do the job. Let's keep moving. Yeah. Well, yeah, but also just don't, like get it done. Like let's get this done successfully. So this is like the closest thing that Zoro and Sanji get to positive reinforcement for each other. Which
actually, it reminds me of that scene from The Wire where the crew couldn't decide if they were moving the desk into the office or taking it out of the office.
Well, very, very funny scene, but yeah, no, I mean, and you laugh, Zach, but like, I think it's true. Like, I think in a way, this is actually kind of touching in, their stunted emotional way, that it is as close to, Zoro and Sanji get to acknowledging each other that they have an important role to play. And they're the only ones that the crew can count on in this moment.
It's like, do the job or I'll have to do it and make you look bad.
Sure.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Sure, yes.
Yeah, the Zosan fans, though, are eating this week, certainly.
I'll marry your stupid ass.
That's exactly that is kind of the thrust of it. Any other thoughts on...
So you were asking about Zaza? The Zaza, yeah. I think Zaza is like 20 times cooler than Kazenbo, the other the other elemental personification.
See-through ghost.
Yeah. Without question.
It actually looks like something that you should be afraid of.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I know, Kenna, did you also post the thing with the different gods from Skypiea?
Do you want to get into that now? Or
yeah, we're talking about Zaza. We might as well Zaza it up.
Okay, yeah. So after this happened today, I went back to the Skypiea chapter where they named the different gods and whatnot.
What number is that again? Do you have that offhand?
I do not have it offhand.
How dare you?
But it's the scene though where it's the Nolan Kagura flashback, and what was the name of the giant snake? Not Nola, but the one before Nola.
Oh, Kashigami.
Kashigami. Yes, they're about to sacrifice someone to Kashigami. And they call out to the god of the sun, the god of the rain, the god of the forest. Thank you. The god of the sun, god of the rain, god of the forest, and god of the earth. And now we know Nika, god of the sun. We have now Zaza, god of the rain. And
their powers combined, they are Captain Planet.
That's kind of what it is. But then god of the forest and god of the earth were both mentioned on the Harley mural as well. True. So now we have these very 4 distinguishingly named gods. And I don't know if Oda's going for something here with Nika, Zaza.
By the way, it's 287. It's the chapter, page 38-9 of the volume. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Gotcha. Just
for those who want to look. Yeah.
The fact now that we're dealing with gods, and I think like just like the name Nika, Zaza, like it's only 2, so we can't really establish a pattern yet. But like they all seem very, at least casually related in some way, shape, or form, which I find extremely interesting for the future of this series. Me and Kirby who's in the episode image this week, we're actually talking like a week or so ago about like gods in the One Piece universe. And like, okay, like we have like the Buddha fruit. Like, is Buddha a god in One Piece? Or is it like we have like in our real world, like Zeus is part of mythology, but there was never actually a Zeus, or was there? And I said, if Oda starts throwing out different gods at us besides Nika, then I think that's going to be kind of telling.
And I'm glad he is, actually. Like, it's
very interesting. Go ahead.
It makes it feel like, I think my issue with, like, look, I love the hell out of Gear 5. I've said it for many years but I think like the story impetuses for it have often been not the most beloved, because it does feel kind of, I don't know if retcon's the right word, but shoehorned. And the fact, whether or not he had it planned, the greater mythology of the One Piece world, particularly as it relates to Skypiea, really.
Oh, so if there was a Nika fruit, could there be a Zaza?
Yes,
fruit?
that's one. That's one very interesting point that there probably will be. But I am very happy to see this mythology kind of expand. It makes the world feel bigger. Not that the One Piece world ever feels that small, but if there's only really one. If it's just, there's the sun god and none others of very much importance. So I am happy that we're getting a little bit more about that. I know the earth god, I think, was mentioned in the mural and also on that page. And the forest god, there were more than just that. Right?
No, just they mentioned like the sun gods mentioned the Harley. They mentioned the earth god roared and cast world into darkness, and the forest god is on that tamed demons.
And Usopp.
And Usopp, yes.
Yes.
But it's interesting because for a while now, like I kept thinking, like, okay, was Nika ever a physical, actual god in this world, or is like, okay, we make up Nika like in our world? I use Greek mythology as like the comparison. Like, okay, we think of Zeus, there's a Zeus fruit, and then so on and so forth.
Well, does a devil fruit need
like
to
how
have...
the Greeks explained the passing of the seasons by like Persephone is in the underworld with Hades, but she comes up to the surface,
spring,
and that's why spring happens.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, did these gods actually exist in the One Piece world, or do people just have the idea of them? Like, were the slaves looking for something, so they made up Nika as like a figure to pray for, or was Nika an actual god? If Nika was an actual god in the One Piece timeline, then you have this idea, okay, Nika was a physical being that then got turned into a fruit, and then Joy Boy was the first fruit user, and now Luffy's the second fruit user. And then you look at Ratatasker and Ragnar in this chapter, like, okay, that one panel we saw a couple chapters ago, it showed the squirrel separate from the hammer working with the giant from Elbaf, so they were separate at one point. Like, okay, was Ratatasker a god in this world that got then turned into a fruit that the hammer ate? So at one point, the god Ratatasker existed and then became a fruit. Like, are all these mythical gods physical things that then got turned into powers? Or because, oh no, if Nika died, let's say Nika existed, Nika died, then okay, the people are wishing for Nika, and if Vegapung's theory that fruits are born from dreams and wishes, then how do you resurrect Nika? By becoming a Nika fruit eaten by Joy Boy, and then that's where my mind is currently going.
If some buts for candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry fucking Christmas.
True.
What?
Steve, what were you going to say?
Or it could be like what we mentioned on the SGS, where like is the image of the the old Elbaf god with the hammer, and then Ratatosker was separate. Is that just like a pictorial representation of like the myth surrounding that event, and they were never separate things? Like it was always a hammer with the mythical squirrel fruit power with it, because we don't that's obviously just that's just kind of a fantastical image that we saw.
And is God also like, I'm assuming I feel like Skypiea, like as a thesis statement, and it's such a strong idea, like the concept of God is so challenged in that, like, it's like no mortal being could
right.
And I love that killing him made this sleep dead because he fucked up and made what he was scared of, and like
that is funny.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
it is.
I love how trippy she looks.
Yeah. Or is it is when we say God, is this an actual like immortal, invulnerable, unkillable, force of nature, or is that just like a title that we give to the people who are even more powerful than anyone we've ever seen before? Like, is this the new version of the four emperors?
Yeah.
The celestial dragons consider themselves gods, so there's a more powerful god that's scary to them.
Sure.
Yeah. But I think it is interesting because of Skypiea, like because of the thesis statement behind Skypiea, and I just have the mural up now because I'm back in that mode. But I think it's pretty not clear, but I think it could be inferred that these are not real gods. So like, even if Nika existed, even if Zaza existed, I really think they were mortal beings that were, the center of this mythology. Equally likely is that it's a devil fruit based off of the imagination of man, and that is the reason it was created, is that there was this mythology around it. So I think either way, I don't think it's an actual god, but I'm leaning toward the second, especially since they're titled mythical types, thereby implying that they're not real. But I don't know how that works in Japanese, or if that's...
I mean, for one thing, like, yes, we you talk about the mythical model of the fruit. That's true for Ragnar, but this is a sleep, like, this is just a drawing that right. Killingham made, basically.
Yes.
Calm down, son. It's a picture.
Yeah. So we don't, this could be completely unrelated to any kind of devil fruit thing that we find out in the future.
It's good because it could look exactly like this, or it could look completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
At long last, Eiichiro Oda has found a way to sexualize water.
Oh yeah.
It's also clever though. Just bouncing off that, like the other sleep tids, they looked the way they did because they were extracted from the minds of kids. And this is like, so they weren't very detailed. They were kind of crayon-y. Right. This is extracted right from the mind of Killingham, and it's very detailed and it's very grandiose, which I think is a cool detail.
Me too. Yeah. But still almost, it retains a little that like watercoloriness, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, she's water.
No, okay.
Yeah, but the treatment, the visual treatment is still the same.
I mean that it still looks like it's from somewhere else, like not from the, like it has been dropped into this manga. Not like...
she's from the East Village.
Yeah. Sorry. I want to go back there. Let's do thoughts on the chapter. Delaney, let's start with you. What did you think of this week's chapter?
I'm not gonna lie. I think there were a lot of little details that I liked, but I think I spent a lot of it largely annoyed, if that makes sense. It's funny. I think I've not really been receptive to emu in my own time while I've been reading this. I'm just kind of like, this is a very weird decision to do this right now, but like whatever, go with the wave. But to me, at least, like the pacing of this one, it kind of feels like you're watching, for lack of a better comparison, it's like you're watching Fantasmic at Walt Disney World, and the big Maleficent dragon shows up, and like, look, it's the large set piece that's like, this is this huge thing that we got to deal with, and then it's like, what's Jafar thinking right now? It's like, what are you doing? I'm not...
He's thinking of his third and final wish.
His third and final wish. One too many hits with the snake. But like I'm notorious for being like the anti-fight person. I don't give a shit about fights. Like that's not ever the thing that I'm reading One Piece for. And yet I'm like, I feel like this is a big deal. So I'm glad that there's, they're pacing it out a little bit. That's sort of a necessity. I don't want full throttle Sakuga fights. I don't care. But it just did feel like a weird pivot to now go back to for lack of a better term, relitigate the kidnapping plot. When we're kind of at a weird fever pitch. And it just kind of reminds me of how many questions that Elbaf has raised. That's like, what, the owl's a mystery again? I forgot about the owl. Like, we're doing some
the owl.
We're doing some Twin Peaks shit now? Like, the owls are not what they seem? What, Killer Bob's in there and he saved the library? What's happening?
Remember the building that's made out of like a 3,000-year-old robot or something?
I don't know.
Ken does. I didn't.
I don't need everything answered. It was just, to me, reading this, having scenes like Sanji where it's like, this is the place that Luffy and Usopp have dreamed about. It's like, wow, you're right. I wish that I'd seen Usopp discuss it for more than 5 lines. It tweaked me a little bit, just in all the wrong ways. But I'm like, I'm not actually angry. It was just not this week for me.
Ken.
Sorry to be the immediate party pooper, by the way. It takes a little pressure off of everybody else.
I disagree with everything Delaney said. No, those are very valid complaints. And this was a very dense chapter, and I feel like Oda is kind of not throwing things at the wall per se, but there's so many moving pieces, and he has to constantly remind us what the stakes are and where everything is. And there's a big Loki emu battle happening in the background too. So like that's equal. Like there's just so many things going on that I don't think everything is like fully hitting the way that it should for some people. I loved this chapter though. I thought I went really hard to the God stuff earlier with Zaza, but I'm fascinated by that because I think it's interesting again how he confirms what Ragnar really is this chapter and then drops another God on us. And I'm thinking of like the line from Guardians of the Galaxy when they're asking like, "Oh, you're a god?" And he's like, "Small G." Like, I don't think these aren't like gods that created the universe or created the world by any means, but they if these four gods are the four gods mentioned in Skypiea and referenced again in the Harley, then I think I don't want to say it's a predestined kind of like thing, but I think that these four gods will come into play in some way. Like we have Luffy as Nika, and if the other three are devil fruits that are either not named, like if it's the same situation where it's like, oh, there's three other devil fruits out there that are not named the rain god fruit, like if they're named like something else. Like I saw a lot of people going off in the theory that who do we know in the series who might have a weather or rain based power, and everyone started pointing at Dragon. Like, okay, at the end of that arc, like Dragon made it like the wind and the lightning and the rain. Like, does he have the Zaza fruit and doesn't even know it? Like, I don't know about that. I think that's going too deep into things, but I think that will play an important part later on. The stuff with Biblo is interesting. I didn't think Biblo was going to be relevant at all, but the fact that now, like, Saul's, like, calling it out and saying, like, you're kind of sus is, that's interesting to me. I have no idea what that could be going for. But yeah, no, I like this one. I thought it was very chaotic. Like, even that page where Loki and Emo are fighting, it's nonstop chaos. I'm just waiting for Luffy to finally join back in. I think they're setting up for a good Sanji versus Killingham fight. It feels like Zoro's gonna be fighting Super Summers at some point. So it's like, I don't call this a setup chapter, but like it moved a lot of the pieces into place. And I just wonder if like Sanji's gonna see Zaza and it's a giant water woman. He's like, oh, I can't hurt a woman, and I have fire powers.
Nightmare. It's not.
Like
it's
if
not real.
Like, all his attacks
think about that.
Yeah, and then like, I have a fire leg. I can't hit water woman. Like I don't. Like, it seems like a fun
fair,
matchup.
I don't know how you fight that.
Everything's like. Yeah, not that Zoro would do any better, but you would think, Sanji, your leg's made of fire. Why don't you kick the wooden ship?
Yeah, right.
And Zoro is a misogynist, so they really should have just traded up.
That's true. He is.
But yeah, that's about it. No, that's about it. I think all the God stuff is the biggest takeaway I have from this chapter, and I want to see that develop more.
Steven.
I really enjoyed this one. I think it was a nice counterpart to, what we had been saying about the last chapter, where it was so focused on Imu and Loki being kind of like the central figures in this scene, and just kind of outclassing and outsizing everyone else. So I thought I really appreciated the chance to catch up with all the other characters and to see the way that they are working and doing things and, trying to achieve their ends. It was a nice balancing act to kind of rein in the scale of what we were seeing before. So that was nice. Now to go back to what Delaney was saying about like Killingham and Summers immediately going back to like, oh, we're going to capture the kids. I totally understand I think there's like a, it almost feels like it's like a violating some kind of a storytelling law, which is like, well, you spent all this time trying to do X and it failed. And so like you would expect, okay, if you get a second chance, you're going to pivot and do Y instead. Like they should be doing something else just so that it doesn't feel like we're just rehashing the plot point that we did before. And I think that's a valid critique. But what I do appreciate about this is it does underline the fact that it is not an arbitrary goal. Like they're not just doing this to mess with the giants. Like they actually have a strategic goal in mind, which is that they need, that they've said before, which is that they need these kids for, raising their future, super soldier giant force or whatever it is that, whatever way that the giants.
Ransom also, like, wasn't it so they could take advantage of them?
Right.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah. There's been a lot of that sort of like, oh, the giants are the key to everything. And so I do appreciate that it feels like their second lease on life here is that they are very committed to that specific goal because it is, it is strategically important. And that helped me like not get too bogged down in the like, oh, well, here we go again. Aside from that, let's see what else was there to say. A lot of good banter. The main thing. So to finish off with the Zaza stuff. So the one thing that I should definitely point out, since I didn't want to interrupt anyone, is that the Zaza is the sound of rain. So like if you can read katakana, literally right underneath Zaza, it's going za, because that is like the sound of sheets of rain coming down. So Oda calling her Zaza is it's sort of like drip drop or splish splash or something like that. Like it is a very a very descriptive bit of naming, which is fun.
What was the? I'm trying to remember Nika. Like what?
Nika was the sound of a smile. And that's
like
why
a grin.
Yes, yeah, a grin.
So
that's
about that.
Right. That's what Oda was going on when he did that. But what I really like about this ending here of Killingham accidentally summoning the thing that he is terrified of is that I think Oda like balanced this on a perfect razor's edge, where like we just spent 20-30 minutes talking about what does this mean for gods in the world of One Piece, and like how does this fit into the working framework that we have based on old arcs and little seemingly throwaway lines that we've had there. But it is very possible that this has nothing to do with any of that, because it is also a joke. Like it is very funny. It is yeah, we know we just live so high that we don't know what rain is, and rain is very scary to us. This thing that is so common that everyone in the world understands what rain is, and that is water that falls on your head. And the idea that they have personified it into a boogeyman that is like the scariest, one of the three scariest things they can possibly imagine, is very funny. It is like, it's almost like it's almost like, oh, I feel sorry for you guys that this is like actually frightening to you.
It's a first world problem, but I mean,
yes,
very
knights are going to get eaten alive in middle school.
And the second thing they're most scared of is a woman. So it really works out that they've just sort of mushed together.
Here's the thing, like
maybe the third is a ladybug.
If that's the joke, it's a very funny joke. But when Killingham's like, after the people of the D and Nika, which are both real, I'm like, okay,
well, yeah, probably. Nika,
Luffy's literally the D and the monk in Nika, so
yeah.
But I agree. Maybe it's just the translation, but whoever did that. But it's like the most common boogeyman they warned us about is like kind of interesting because yes, it's different than it's different than like
they act like everyone. They act like everyone follows like the rules of Major League Baseball. Nope. Canceled today.
The they in that sentence is their parents. Like it's a scary story that they tell. Like, oh, you better come back inside before 6 o'clock, or the rain god will rain on you. Like, oh, I don't want to get rained on. And what I like about that is the way that
I don't have an umbrella.
It's the chaos element of like, this is something that Oda does every now and then. And I was reminded of like when Luffy eats the cracker biscuit soldiers, it's like, it's a silly and comical explanation or like a sort of story movement. It's a stroke of the pen that is both kind of a punchline, but also has real world like effects that affects the story and the way that the plot is going forward. I mean, you could also argue that like Sanji getting the nosebleed in Fishman Island would be a bad example of this, but like that's the same. It's within the same category of like it feels to me like it is like a sort of stroke of genius where it's like, oh, let me create this kind of silly monster figure that spooks all the celestial dragons, and then also have that be like, oh no, this is their secret weapon that they're going to use to get the kids away. So yeah, I really liked that, and it helps too that it's an amazing design. It's so cool. Like I really like the way that he ended this chapter.
There were two Zaza things I want to say before I forget, which I will. First, I think the fact that he isn't able to fully control her, presumably because of the exchange, is interesting, particularly since the fires continue to rage on Elbaf, and that is very specifically mentioned often in the previous chapters. So it's like almost the solution to their problems here. I mean, a little too much. What is it? But the other thing I think is funny is that maybe someone introduces an umbrella in the same way that Usopp introduced rubber to Skypiea as this like amazing invention to Marijoa, and they're like, oh, we thought of you guys all wrong. Umbrellas. Steve, thoughts on the chapter?
Some really good moments sprinkled in here. I think most memorable for me is Zoro and Sanji at the end, kind of splitting duties here, and kind of just like knowing knowing that each other is more than capable of handling a big situation like this, but kind of just saying like, hey, don't fuck it up, like kind of just being, tough on each other. But just like what a cool moment for those two. Enjoyed that a lot. I kind of, something that kind of stuck with me, I think like Delaney was saying, was kind of just like, I also wasn't just expecting the return of the kids are getting kidnapped again.
Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know what it is, just so I can clarify before you finish your point? Is that what Stephen was saying, which is that it's good that there's a target, like a target goal here, but I think that I would maybe be feeling differently about it if we hadn't literally had those kids hanging off a cliff for the better part of an entire autumn. I think if they had paced that out differently, I wouldn't be quite so like,
yes.
You see, last year they were on fire, and this year they're drowning. He's going to change it up.
True.
Bark, bark. Oh, the orphans are down a well. It's like, no, okay, man, come on.
Well,
because I feel like this arc has to end on like a low point, so that the characters have something to strive for heading into the next arc, whatever like that may be. Yeah. So I kind of still feel like, I don't know, I thought like, I guess maybe these kids will get kidnapped, because then it's like that's the launching point into the next arc. It would just feel so weird if to like do this twice and then the good guys still overcome this. There's going to be some sort of loss here. I just can't quite pinpoint what it'll be just yet. But part of me just thinks like, what the hell was the last few months for then? Of just, I don't know. I can't really, I sound like a broken record where I can't judge this arc until it's finished, but it's almost like, maybe Emu shouldn't have shown up, and just the Knights were just that strong where they got away with this. But I think I'll have to wait to make that judgment when this arc is finished. But besides that, the Ratatasker reveal wasn't like a bombshell to me. It's just like okay, cool. Now you got it out of the way. I think we were all kind of expecting that. But other than that, no really strong reaction coming from that. Really, this was like a big Zoro and Sanji chapter for me here. Everything else was like, oh yeah, of course, Gerd gets her thumbs back.
Good for Chopper.
Yeah, good for Chopper. Yeah, 2 thumbs way up for Dr. Chopper.
Oh, well, they have to be.
Chopper's like, make sure you review me on Yelp, and you get a free Starbucks gift card.
Chopped
on Glassdoor or something. Is Glassdoor just for teachers?
Yeah,
no,
Glassdoor is just for employers.
Glassdoor is for employees, or
okay.
No, you're thinking of what was it? Rate My Teacher or something? Rate My Professor?
Rate My Teacher, yeah.
Rate My Doctor.
Rate My Doctor. Rate My Chopper.
Rate My Chopper.
Rate My Chopper.
RateMyChopper.com.
Bad variant.
I'm not buying that one, so that's up to everyone else here. Anything else, Steve?
I mean, this is kind of interesting to me because it's like, is, in thinking in like a very older One Piece kind of shonen kind of mindset, it's like, oh, is Sanji gonna fight Killingham? Is Zoro gonna fight Somers? That's fun. I would like that. But I think I'll also kind of ape something Delaney said earlier. I don't care so much for fights in the One Piece manga because fights have gone from like really cool coordinated comic pages to just splash pages of action. So I don't really get excited anymore in the manga form of it. Like the dragon stuff with Loki is like a little fun, but like really this manga really didn't start. I mean, this chapter didn't start kind of kicking off for me until page 6. But other than that, God, especially after the end of this chapter, it's like I feel like Sanji and Zoro need to succeed here, but there's going to be some sort of loss, and I can't. It's like and also like I can't help but feel like is Loki going to be like kidnapped like a princess here? And I don't really have any
We've been saying that
grounds
for a while
to kind of back up that claim. I kind of feel like Loki gets kidnapped and maybe like Shirahoshi gets kidnapped, and that kind of
and then they kiss.
Reunites those two. Though we still don't have the identity of Shaggy revealed just yet.
Oh,
but
well,
a lot of people are betting on Shirahoshi.
I mean,
that's what I
feel like
it seems pretty.
It's what everyone wants to know right now. They're like, Emu who? I want to know who Shaggy is.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some loss here, and if it's not, if it's not the kids, then I feel like it's gonna be like Loki. Loki's taken out of this. And was it? Maybe it was a fan in our Discord, and maybe it was Ken talking about Biblo shrinking Ratatasker hammer, and somehow Usopp gets it.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't me. No,
that was Joey. That was Joey.
Oh, okay. Joey. Yeah. Sorry, that was Joey. And I thought that could be fun because that means Usopp gets to do something. Yeah. But then I just don't want it to. But I don't want it to be Ratatasker to Usopp. I don't want to be Zeus to Nami, where it's just like, cool, this is the one thing they do now. It's just
you have a Pokemon. Here you go.
Yeah,
exactly. I was gonna say it's like when you have like a souped up, leveled up Pokemon, and you just spam one attack just over and over again. It just becomes mindless.
When you only use Charizard in the Elite Four, it doesn't really.
Yes. Yeah.
Fight for me, my minion.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, just use flamethrower on ground Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's just
Oda
mindlessly spamming A.
Oda is such a Pokemon fan. You'd think he would get that, right? No?
That's like the worst possible resolution to. I mean, not the worst. Okay, there's other worse ones, but like I would be really disappointed if they went with that, and then that's like you're a great warrior of the sea because you have the hammer. It's like that. No, I feel like if they gave him the hammer, it would go down that path, and I wouldn't.
I don't think he needs to keep the hammer. I think he just needs to show he could wield it in a battle. I think that would be enough to fulfill the prophecy.
He needs his Avengers Endgame moment.
Yeah.
I knew you could do
it. Yeah, I was totally making that reference. Steve, anything?
Yeah, good job, Zach.
Yeah, thank you. You know me at Marvel.
Great reference.
I will say, bringing up that, I think it was Somers bringing up that Emu can't stay within this realm.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
I mean, it was implied previously. But
I'm glad there's something just to show that, like, okay, like, he's not all that powerful. Here's his weakness.
Well, he was bleeding.
So people were saying for weeks that he was coughing up blood and he seemed like not great. And I didn't believe the whole he has a time limit theory. But if now they're saying this form or this body can't stay on the surface,
everything has
that makes
a limit.
It interesting.
Everything has a limit in One Piece.
Yeah.
There's just
it puts a time. Yeah, it does put like a time limit on here because it it means we don't have to just hit the call Emu button, just to handle every situation.
Well,
here.
otherwise he would have showed up for many other incidents that have taken place, you would think.
Right.
Yeah.
It's... Yeah, like, at least there's that. At least there's some intrigue with Emu here. But really, the standout moment for me was Zoro and Sanji. And also that amazing spread there with Zaza. Just what a cool-looking panel there.
Anything else, Steve?
No, that's it.
Yeah, I like this chapter. I want to first give some kudos. I have enjoyed, like, look, Emu's design we could talk about separately, but like the Emu Loki fight has been compelling and funny and interesting. And that's really all I want from a One Piece fight. Again, I also don't come for the fights, so I think we're all, but I do enjoy the fights when they're good and when they happen. And I think Oda has done some well choreographed ones. Like, believe it or not, I think one of the standout moments from Dressrosa was how well choreographed some of the manga panels were with that. Like the beginning of that Doflamingo fight where it's like the quiet, like, just like martial arts hand-to-hand thing, and I kind of wish he did that more. It almost feels like a Toriyama-esque thing, like just like the minimalist, like just gonna see people punching each other and it's gonna be really cool and kinetic. But I do feel a little that, I mean, the thing is, you have a giant obsidian dragon with a squirrel hammer fighting the devil, maybe. It's very otherworldly. It's very like, Jesus Christ, what is happening to my One Piece? Like, for good or for bad, whether you're a fan of it or not, there's like, it's that long discussion we had the other week about like, you're going to get answers. You might like the answers, but you might not like the answers, but we're getting the answers. And as we get them and as things are revealed to us, you're going to have opinions, and this is all royal you. I really am interested in Ratatasker's place with Emu, especially since he fought against Joy Boy, right? That's like the one thing we heard about Ratatasker's past, like he and his former handler.
The giant who wielded the hammer fought against Joy Boy in the past.
So I wonder...
Or fought against Nika in the past. I don't know if it was Joy Boy or Nika.
I also think Nidhogger, the combo of Nidhogger and Nika is what brought Emu, like, I gotta go see this for myself. Like, I gotta go deal with this. Like, that... The fact that there is some personal relationship with both of those characters. I mean, he had the little flashback with Joy Boy, and he's having this little internal monologue here about Nidhogger. Like, very interesting.
He calls Nidhogger a traitor at one point, like that.
Right,
not just like Loki or the wielder of the fruit.
That
Nidhogger himself is a traitor.
Yeah, maybe. So Nidhogger isn't Ratatasker though. That's the thing. It's not the hammer, but the fruit and the hammer have stayed together. So it would have been the previous guy was either like Emu's BFF or like. Emu him. Well, that doesn't make sense if it being Emu himself.
Is it a matter of like him because he's been speaking so possessively about Harold? Could it have something to do with that? Because since he's shown up, it's like you bodied my most faithful servant Harold, and like, I don't know, just throwing that out there.
The reason? No, I think that's a good. It might explain, like, his state of mind. Like, he might think of this former giant in the same kind of way he thought of Harold. Like, I possessed you. You're my... I thought you were my best friend because I forced you to do this.
Because I owned you. You legally had to be my best friend.
Emu mentions in days past. Like, he specifically... Yeah. I'm sorry if I stepped over you, Ken.
No, you're fine. Keep going.
It's just that, like... The thing he recognized about Ratatasker is from thousands of years ago and from when he personally was interacting with Nidhogger, it seems. Like, he seems so amused and also annoyed, like this, like, bemused, I guess is maybe the right word for that. It's very fascinating. And I am legitimately I'm interested in the answers behind Emu, like Emu and Loki and Ratatoskr, I guess more specifically, because he's an adorable squirrel who's also a hammer, who's also 1,000 years old. What's not to love? Yeah, I was interested in that. I will say I think the reason for like Steve in particular, I know because I feel the same way. I think this chapter stood out particularly past page 6 because the Straw Hats were kind of at center stage again. Like, not that they've been completely sidelined. I mean, Loki has been asked to be a Straw Hat, so you could say that focusing on him is not ridiculous. But like Sanji is like kind of the focus on page 6 and 7, and then Robin, and then Chopper, and then Zoro, and Sanji again. I one of the things I have consistently liked about Elbaf, sans the flashback, which will make sense in a second, is how center stage I think the Straw Hats have actually been in the conflict. I think Oda has done a better job balancing that in this arc than he has in quite some time. Like, Egghead had moments of that, but Luffy was mostly Luffy, right? Am I like forget? I mean, Robin had moments, and they all had like, they did have moments, but it
feels very structurally similar to this one as well, where, I mean, like, obviously the flashbacks are part of any arc and the new characters and building a relationship with that. But I feel like we're in a very similar situation that we were in the last arc with Bonnie and Kuma and Vegapunk, where the Straw Hats are involved and they do get like moments therein, but also you're finding a lot of the emotional thrust is being shifted onto whichever characters we've kind of grown attached to, which again, very typical of One Piece. A lot of arcs are like that. But it feels very similar structurally between these two, where like the difference is, of course, that we already kind of knew who Bonnie was. We definitely knew who Kuma was, and we had an idea of Vegapunk versus Loki and, like, Harold and all those characters. Scopper, like, they were all new to us, with the exception of the God Valley material. So I think that I would agree with you that there's more focus on the Straw Hats, like, on the periphery of that. But I think there's a bit more in common with the way that Egghead structured things, where, you know, it did, at the end of the day, that fight was the Luffy and Bonnie and the Nika form, and that was the last punch of that one.
I'm wondering, I'm excited I need to do a real reread of the series at some point. Mm-hmm. But, like, I am super interested if I read this arc when all is said and done, without the flashback in the middle, how I would take it. I'm not saying that the flashback was bad, or like it was like, I'm not saying anything negative about the flashback. I'm just saying that it definitely halts the momentum that you're in the current arc, which is why I think the "won't you just please think of the children" thing does feel like I don't want to say played out, but like
it feels like we spent so much time with it that now we're relitigating it in a weird.
Yeah,
we did. They didn't.
Yes. I think this chapter, and I really think this arc is like a great example of why the week-to-week format can sometimes hinder enjoyment of the story. At the same time, I don't know. I don't feel I'm conflicted about that, and the cop-out answer will be I'll see at the end of this arc how I feel. I think the place we're in now is good, and I do think it was worthwhile having the red herring of it all. I think it's a fun story device, like the fact that they kind of all got beaten pretty quick, and then this happens, you know, this whole twist, and now we're in like kind of deep shit at the moment, I think is fun. Mm-hmm. And seeing the worst people in the world kind of come back here, and then it just will make it more satisfying, hopefully, if and when they're beaten. The other point I wanted to hit I think that Steve mentioned too was the consequences thing. Because I think we've been saying from the beginning that Elbaf will probably end almost similar to Whole Cake Island, the Bad End musical. Like, I think things will go sour, but right now I think we're kind of witnessing how. I mean, the thing about that last page that struck me almost more than anything else besides Zaza herself is the hand coming out of the water grasping for air on the bottom. I think is like an exceptionally visceral, like, I mean, it's just like water in the One Piece world is a very fatal thing. And so it is interesting to see someone with that power. And I wonder how that's kind of got to work. And even with Killingham, who has a, you know, I don't think rain would kill you if you have a devil fruit, but if he falls in the water, I don't know what'll happen to him. Hoisted by his own petard. That's what it'll be. I really enjoyed this chapter. I definitely did feel like more of like an in-betweener type of chapter, but it does have some really good stuff to chew on. I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the other ones we've had recently, but I thought it was still very solid. And also more stomp tromping, so that's always fun. At the end. Any other thoughts on the?
I will say, because I have the job of being the heel this episode. The one detail that really jumped out at me was when Zoro was talking about how Emu like is specifically manifesting like bombs and bullets and weapons, and I thought that was a really interesting detail, because like guns are a thing. It's not like guns don't exist, but that like I for some reason the fact that it is like the dark magic that he's been using, this omen power, but it is also manifesting, you know, it's not like booger pellets or like Capone who becomes like a big weapon. It's like, no, like he is like, if from the depths of Luffy's joy he manifests like his own body, then Emu is manifesting weapons and objects of war and like mechanical, these like things which are designed to be lethal and pain. Like, that's a very interesting detail, and it makes his power more interesting to me than I've been really looking at it, if that makes sense.
The thing is, we don't know very much about it.
It does feel very typical of like, you know, oh, here's Luffy's Shadow the Hedgehog. It's like, no, all right, I like this detail. It adds a bit more body to what he's doing.
Blackbeard is Luffy's Shadow the Hedgehog,
but this Shadow has a gun. Oh wait.
Oh shit! Yeah. I will
Where's
say,
that damn fourth natural god?
I still think, and maybe I'm the only one who thinks this, but I still think Emu is like going to be run over. Essentially, like I think Blackbeard or like I don't think Emu is going to be the villain at the end of this. Like, so I think personally, the fact that he shows up here. Kind of, what do they call it? The death call thing that, you know, like when someone's about to die, but not quite that dire.
Yeah, the death flag.
Death flag. But it is a death flag, I think, for him. Like the fact that he's showing up here, like, this feels too early for you. Yeah, and fighting and like not even really holding his own a little bit against Loki, but like, anyway, I just want to note that. Any other thoughts on the chapter?
Just one final thing. I went back to a chapter 1175 when they were talking about the past of Ratatasker and whatnot. Just had said that in Elbaf we have a legend about a warrior god. He wielded a weapon known as Ragnir, Iron Lightning, and turned into an enormous dragon to face off against the sun god. He fought alongside a trusted, loyal ice squirrel known as Ratatasker. Without its master, Ratatasker chose to inhabit the weapon instead. So, like Stephen was saying before, like we can just take that as like, oh, that's legend. That's a interpretation of what happened, whatnot. But it doesn't say Joy Boy. It doesn't say Nika. It just says he fought the sun god, and there has not been a user of Loki's fruit since back then, nor has Ragnir or Ratatasker chosen a master since then as well. So, who knows? There could be something more there. We don't know.
That'll do it for the manga recap. Let's move on to the next segment. This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, and theories and then send them to the devil boy in the bubble. Ken, what's our first piece together? Oh, by the way, Steve and Delaney had to take off because we talked too much.
Yeah, they were sick of us.
They were sick of us. They said
I
very
washed them
specifically.
away.
And also, they were both the heels of this episode, so... You know.
That's true.
We got the haters out of here.
Yeah, no, we got those naysayers. We kicked them to the curb. Ken, what's the first segment on the Piece Together segment called?
Our first segment is called Dispiece. All right, first up we have Sailor Karna.
Long ones this week. So
Yeah, yes, these are all long. We'll try to get these as quick as we can. Thank you all so much, though, for submitting these. This is all great stuff. Just these are very long, so we'll do our best.
I haven't read them, so I can't attest to that, but I assume they are because they're our Patreon subscribers. So.
It was the best of times. It was the worst. Oh, this is okay. All right.
That's
Sailor Karna.
One.
Yeah. Hey, OPP. Happy Sunday to you. I'm enjoying my Mother's Day, and I realized something about the celestial dragons. They are very sheltered and naive. They are afraid of rain and air. I wonder what their immune system is like, because I'm sure the common cold can take them out.
Oh my god, that would be great.
It was funny. It was like occurring to me that like if they're supposed to be like extremely sheltered, like and very waspy, like what other gods would they be afraid of? Like jalapeno or something, like the spice god or something.
Just the whitest white.
Yeah.
White.
Yeah.
God, I love that's great.
That's a good. I like that question. Alone,
I want to see that taken to like the nth degree. Like that's like one of those things I want to see in like a 4-panel comic thing. Like, but that's a good question. So what's like a mundane thing that you think
the god of traffic?
Oof. It's like, I guess the question is, what's the most first world problem thing that you would like to see turned into a sleep tid or god?
Huh.
And that's a really good question.
I'm thinking of things like like stubbing your toe or something like that. But like the fact that they don't experience rain is so.
No, it would be like you brought my dish in too late at the restaurant. Like a god that's
the
specific.
god of cold soup.
The god of lukewarm soup. Like what's the thing? Or I'll tell your manager god. Like something like that. I feel like is the
the god of allergies, the god of sunburns, the god of taxes.
Those are all real things. Those are all terrifying.
Oh, I'm just trying to think what like would they not have on the red line? Because rain makes sense. They're too high.
That's true.
To experience that.
Well, what does a rich person, like a super rich person, never have to deal with in the real world? Like the god of public transportation, like that. Like a completely normal, mundane thing that they,
Oh, this is like that riddle. Like, what does a poor person have that a rich person doesn't? And the answer is like nothing, because poor people have nothing and rich people don't know what nothing. Like,
yeah,
it's not a good answer, but just remind me of that.
Well,
I'll keep thinking about this one. That's a good thought experiment, actually.
Yeah, it is a good thought, Stephen. The thought experiment was a sleep tid for the most first world thing, so it would be like, something that a rich person would never stoop to doing, and turn that into a sleep tid or god. What would you? What would fit that bill?
The laundry god.
Ooh. Good answer.
I like that, actually.
And it's just like really a pile of dirty clothing, and excellent.
The god of dirty dishes.
Yeah. Well, no one likes dirty dishes, do they?
All right.
What's the next question?
On to the next one.
Not having a dishwasher.
Usopp the Great. Hey ho, OPP. While the wings are setting up to take care of all the distractions before Luffy arrives, there's both competition and respect coming from Zoro and Sanji, and I love the interaction. I realize that I think I like when the Straw Hats interact with each other or others more than they do on an action.
More than when they do an action.
More than they do an action, sorry.
Enjoys how they interact with each other more than when they do something. Yeah.
Blowing things up and cutting things is satisfying, but a quip between the two crew members has so much power.
Strongly agree.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
I liked seeing Zoro talk to what was his name? The giant in this
Sanji. Goldberg.
Yep. All right. Next we have Zaza Gapor Slay.
I like
that
it.
works really well.
Yeah,
well done.
Yeah, that's one of the few puns we did not make this week.
Yeah, that sounds like a more. Yeah.
I'm sure there are more, but that's a good one. Yeah.
Hello, my fellow super podcasters. Between Killingham bragging about his rippling aura and saying, "So long, sucker," and Sommers calling himself Super Sommers, it's a good reminder how much these fascists are such loser dorks. Speaking of problematic, I can't believe the stuff Rad Tasker said in his Ice Squirrel language. I get that he's mad at Emu, but you can't say words like "geki geki 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 geki" in 2026 anymore. I'm canceling him. To take my mind off them, I want to share a theory. It probably won't happen, but the fandom has been discussing Emu's appearance a lot more lately, and an idea came to me recently. What if Emu's silhouette appearance is them being something underneath that is silly and kinda complements with Luffy's whole Looney Tunes Gear 5 vibe? What if Emu looks like a banana? We know banana peel gags are a very common slapstick gag, and Emu is a foil to Luffy. What if their crown isn't a crown, but just a weird shaped banana tip? Could be nothing, but thought I'd share it. Thanks, and have a great week. Thank you, Slay.
It's called a banana tip. I think there's a word for it. I don't remember what it was.
Like an actual name, a scientific name for the tip of a banana?
Yeah, I remember seeing this going around online at some point. Like, did you know this had a name?
I think that was in an SBS where someone said the banana thing. Yeah.
That's what it was. It was an SBS. The internet. The same thing. Yeah, I mean, first of all, to the first point with Killingham and Summers being like fascists with bad humor, like I think that's been talked about a lot in recent years, like how the far right tends to abscond with something that's funny and take it and to like a very unfunny degree. Like, look at me, I'm doing this X meme. That does kind of fit Summers and Killingham like a glove, so I like that. And I am always a believer that the silhouette will come back and will be relevant, and I think the last chapter would endorse that theory personally. But
I love the silhouette form. I think I mentioned last time that it's just classic Emu is better in that weird Coke bottle shape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I just love, I don't know, I the plush is I think what sold me. Like, oh my god, he's just,
I still want to get one of those.
I do and I don't. I do and I don't. What the hell is that in your corner? That's the antagonist. Right there. Stuff.
All right. Should we move on to the next one?
I suppose.
Yes.
All right. From Reverse Super Eye Patch. Hey, hello. This is Reverse Eye Patch speaking. Did I say Reverse Eye Patch? I meant Reverse Super Eye Patch. Did I say Reverse Super Eye Patch? I meant Reverse Super Eye Patch Wolf.
Hey,
I know that's already someone's username, but I am the reverse of him, of course. Reverse Zaza Super Soaker Summer aside, we finally got the name of Ragnar's fruit, and it's the first ever squirrel fruit. I'm surprised that it's not a general rodent fruit, given that it seems the ox covers all even-toed ungulates.
Ungulates.
Big Bird encapsulates every single avian, and the bug includes every insect. Maybe all rodents are models of the squirrel. If not, the only other models of squirrel I can think of are normal squirrel, flying squirrel, prairie dogs, marmots, chipmunks, and the squawks. I don't know what a squawks is, but that seems like a lot, but I'm sure we could think of more than 7 variants of every other series of zone fruits besides maybe the mole and the otter. I sure hope we get more Zoan classifications in this final saga.
The squawk is a mythological being of the Eastern Lombardy region lore. Oh my god. Is said to be small, hairy folklore.
Yeah.
that's
that's the spinoff.
That's what I call Trafalgar, on the days off.
Yeah. I think my uncle practiced that.
That's what I practice sometimes. Sure. What was the question?
I like the idea that there's like 7 types. Like this would be a good replacement for the there's only 5 types of flying fruits. There's only 7 types of squirrel fruit. And just have that be a preoccupation of Oda's.
It's crazy how many mythical animals, I guess, exist in our world. I'm learning about a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested to see more about Aztec culture as well, apparently. So I think it's fun. I don't know how many, what was it? What kind of ungulates? Even-toed ungulates?
Mm-hmm.
Ungulates. It's ungulates? I know it's always ungulates.
I've never seen that word before, so I have no idea.
I don't think I've seen it written, but I've definitely heard it. It's like one of those words that...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, just answer the question, though. I think, I don't say Oda has written himself into a corner with a lot of these naming conventions. But he has. Yeah, I think that's all it is. If we see a squirrel fruit, cool. I don't think we'll see a squirrel fruit, but it's fine.
Mean, if my son's really awful Spidey and His Amazing Friends book suggests anything, there's nothing faster than a squirrel.
Oh yes, the fastest land animal.
The fastest land animal. You beat Spider-Man in a battle. It's for those looking for that book, it's Spidey and His Amazing Friends, Construction, Destruction. Why do I know that off the top of my head? I ask that to myself every day. What's next?
Next up, we have Sam Fisher 814. Ahoy, OPP. I just joined the paid Patreon specifically so I can ask this question. Well, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
My question to Steven. Does Japan have some sort of phrase or saying connecting smiling and suns, like the English phrase, the sun is smiling down on you? Because if it does, with the rain goddess being named Zaza after the sound of heavy rain, I'm predicting the forest god is probably named Sara after the Japanese onomatopoeia of rustling of leaves, and the earth god is named Goso after the Japanese onomatopoeia for digging. Nika could match that pattern if relating sun and smiling exists in Japanese. That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Really good.
That's very interesting. I am not familiar with any sayings about the sun is smiling down on you specifically. There's definitely a lot of the sun is watching you. Otento-sama ga miteru. They do say Otento-sama is their way of saying the sun. And I forget if that's derived from one of the old Shinto gods or if that was a more recent development, but people will use that in everyday speech to sort of refer to anything that's out in the open where the sun can see or something. That's what comes to mind when I think of idioms and sayings around the sun where the sun is sort of an active participant. I have not heard of any that relate specifically to smiling, but that doesn't mean it doesn't possibly exist. But I do think in general, the idea that Oda would kind of give them names that are very unsubtly related to a sound that they make is just as a sort of I don't want to say lazy, but just as kind of a goof on it. There's a very good shot of that being the case. So it wouldn't have to be Sara Sara. It could be a Gasa Gasa or something like that. That's when you see a rustling in the bushes, that's usually how they would say it. So that could end up being something for the sun god, for example. But I like it. It is an interesting thing to ponder is if Oda goes down this route and actually does flesh out the previously mentioned gods, what would he call them?
I was thinking about this specifically, so I'm glad someone kind of gave some possibilities. It's also funny because Sarah is just a name, so that works.
I do hope that they all are short, like Nika, Zaza. Like, I hope they do follow a kind of short pattern like that.
And
it's
I like how they could be kind of stupid, like, you know, in that it is just like an onomatopoeia. It fits One Piece. Like, oh, this formidable potential thing is also just trip.
What is Stephen? What is Whitebeard's fruit in Japanese again?
The gura fruit.
Gura. What does that translate to?
That's like wobbling.
Okay, so it's not
shaking.
like earthquaker. Okay.
No, it's not. It's not directly coming from the name of the word earthquake.
Gotcha.
I mean, Earth could also refer to many different things if the Planeteers are to be believed. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny they have Earth God and Forest God. Like, to me, those seem like very similar, but I guess there'll be a distinct difference between like trees and nature versus like the ground and the soil.
Yeah.
Forest is interesting. Although like that is, you know, being in the, you know, I'm rewatching a lot of Miyazaki lately, and there's a lot of that, you know, like the forest gods and reference to it.
Yeah.
So
to be honest, like I mean, I know there's some overlap, but I personally would be paying much more attention to the gods that were mentioned in the Harley as opposed to
agreed
the sort of like the gods of the sun and the sky and everything from the Skypiea
I think
thing.
They're the same.
Well, no, the Skypiea gods are exactly the same as the Harley gods,
except for Rain. I don't think
there
Rain
were different.
showed up.
No, yeah, I have it here. Do you want me to read the two passages of the Harley?
Somebody was pointing this out.
First world, within the earth there was fire. Mankind succumbed to greed and touched the forbidden sun. The enslaved prayed, and the sun god appeared. The earth god raged, and with its serpent of hellfire shrouded the world in death and darkness, and they will never meet. That's the first world. That mentions the sun god and earth god. And then second world, within the void there was breath. The forest god tamed demons, and the sun spread the fires of war. So that's the mention of the forest god, and then if you take the sun spread, that's the sun god again. And then there's no mention of the rain. There's no mention of the rain god at all in the Harley, but in the Harley image, it's raining in the third world, on top of the whale in the image. There's rain there.
I saw,
but there's no mention of the rain god at all, except in Skypiea they mention the rain god.
So it's kind of it like adds another level of like. It's interesting that the one that had not been quote unquote confirmed in the Harley is the one that we're seeing.
Was there one of the sea in the Harley, the Umi, the god of the sea?
I think there was a god of the sea. Are we thinking
somebody in the
mentioned the god of the sea or something?
Yeah, somebody on our public Discord was
man killed the sun together and became god, and the sea god
sounds like you're reading
the sea god.
The headline. Oh,
see, the sea god. There wasn't a sea god. There wasn't a sea god in the Skypiea, right?
There was no sea god in the Skypiea.
That's what I mean. Is they're not perfectly identical. They don't match 100%.
Okay, gotcha.
And you know, whatever Oda can. He could have a speech where he's like, okay, these are actually the ones that matter. You know, we'll see. I guess
sea god and rain god could be the same thing.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting if the sea god is the rain god. Because remember, even with Wano, like remember old Wano, the walls went up and the rain filled old Wano and became the ocean.
Oh yeah, I saw you posting that. But it could also just have been the sea because the sea rose. The rising world.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying like the bowl, like that weird like land bowl around Wano filled up with water.
Right. I mean, yeah,
so
I have a lot of thoughts.
I
have a lot of thoughts on that because I saw that image and I'm like, they said somehow walls showed up on either side. I'm like, those look like they were to stop the sea on either side. That could be the
earth god if that's the because like going back to the earth god. It
could also just be someone's crazy devil fruit.
Absolutely. Again, that's why I like this chapter so much.
What's the difference between a god and a devil fruit user? Like, is also a good question.
I don't think that. I think that all devil fruits with godlike powers are based off gods. So,
and why are they devil fruits?
Oh, because they came from Emu. I don't know.
There could have. I mean, he has the devils, man. We should go to the next one.
Let's move on. From SNP, ahoy OPP. Look at the design of Zaza, god of rain, and Emu, probably god of something. Parentheses, earth or forest. They have this water/fire ring behind their back. It's clearly different from Luffy's Nika form, and other awakened Zoan cloud scarfs. The how do you say that? Hagoromo?
Hagoromo, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that floats around the
heavenly
back
scarf.
Right.
Yeah. If Luffy's Gear 6 becomes Luffy's Gear 6 becomes a huge possibility now? I know Greg also had been entertaining the idea for a while. Oda loves the rule of 3 after all. 3 weapons, 3 powers, 3 devil fruits, 3 hockeys, etc. So maybe 3 gears pre-time skip and 3 gears post-time skip?
I don't think he thinks of pre and post time skip in that way.
No, he definitely does not.
But
is it possible? Yes, but
yes, yeah. I mean, if it happens, it's going to be because he's like, well, it's time to bring out another. It's been X number of years, X number of arcs, and Luffy needs a power up now, so it's time for that. But
I mean, I don't think he does.
I don't either. I don't want to go past gear. I think once you've awakened your fruit, what more do you need?
Well, that's the question. Then you could awaken your god.
Now you're channeling Nika directly into him. I don't want that either. I don't want him to channel.
I don't even know. I mean, I agree that whatever Emu has and whatever the Sleep Tid has looks markedly different and is markedly different. I mean, he also controls that circle of eyes, separately from himself because he was using it for that eclipse attack.
It looks more like Eneru's drum ring than anything else.
That's true too.
And Eneru called himself a god. I think it's just a symbol to oh, this is a being that's establishing their godliness.
Yeah, it's like a halo. It's like, oh, this is the sign of someone who is superhuman.
I don't know. I could see him. I feel like if I saw at this point, could he do a Gear 6? Sure. I don't know how I'd feel about that because I feel like the fun part about Gear 5 is that it busts open the limits for Luffy. Like there are limits, but there aren't he could be as fun as he wants with it. Like Oda doesn't have any limits with Luffy, I think is the way to put it. And so what else can he accomplish with? I don't know, but I don't.
Yeah,
focus on giving the crew more time to shine and more power ups.
Yeah, more power ups. I want Super Sanji to fight Super Summers.
Yeah, Super Summer God Super Summers.
I forgot to write that one down. Thank you for reminding me. Yes.
All right, moving on. Ooh, it's Krakra Freaky. Ahoy, OPP. Banger chapter as always. So much going on. More DBZ beam struggles. Confirmation of that Ragnar is exactly the way round we hoped. Hammer who ate the squirrel. Zoro being totally fine? ? Sanji caring about his boys less than 3. And even Vegapunk becoming an adoptive MILF for Mother's Day.
That's not less than 3. That's a heart symbol.
That's how they say it.
That's how they say it. That's
yes.
They say less than people say that out loud.
Yes, that's kind of the joke. I know what a heart is. Well, it's not Mother's Day in the UK, but the bad joke stands. Also, wow, that art of Zaza is stunning. Oda's on top form. My question is not about any of that. What is Biblo Baggins' deal? Right or wrong answers, just have fun. Have a great week, less than 3.
Okay, I'm leaving. Was that a joke you were making, or is that a joke that's just made?
No, that's an actual thing.
What, less than 3? Yeah,
people
that's
say less than 3.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's what like streamers, they'll say that. When every single time that someone makes a donation on Games Done Quick with a heart thing, it'll be less than 3.
Oh, it's streamers
because the text to speech reads it literally. That's the joke.
What horrid future do we inhabit?
So anyways, to the actual question.
What's Biblo's deal? That's Sussy Owl.
Yeah.
I saw someone theorize that he was what's his name?
Louis Arnault.
Louis Arnault.
Oh, that is the stupidest thing. Look, I'm sorry. Is it possible that that's true? absolutely possible that that's true.
Yes.
Would that be the most stupid-ass twist I've ever heard in my life?
Wow.
Yes, that would be really stupid.
Don't say an Elbaf too long, you turn into an owl.
You turn into an owl, yeah.
Or just an owl wrote it for some reason. I mean, I guess he's a
why not?
librarian.
Look,
he has access to books. He could write a book, I guess. Sure.
It's the beach that makes you owl.
Look, if you want Morgans to be a giant bird who writes the news and publishes the news, like, you got to be open to the idea of a giant owl who travels the world and tells stories.
Yeah, but
publishes books.
Morgans has a devil fruit.
No,
this is an owl who has a Grogro fruit.
Yeah, but let me be... First of all, the fact that he has a devil fruit and he's just some guy, Morgans, is still the worst abomination that Oda has brought to his manga.
It depends what the guy looks like. If one day we see Morgan's actual form...
He's going to just look like some dude. I mean... even the most Oda-looking dude is worse than an albatross man. Casey and I are the resident...
Morgans is going to have his dream face reveal. That's something that Zach doesn't understand. But
no, I don't.
You don't need to.
This is the yassification of Big News Morgans. I can't.
Big News Morgans.
I already had it once. with fucking Killingham messing himself up with his face. I can't do it again with Big News Morgans. I need to say, Casey and I are both bird enthusiasts, so this is not anti-bird. I want to make that clear. It is just a stupid idea. I can't even describe why. I think it just feels so shoehorned. If Oda, I'm not saying Oda wouldn't do that. I'm not even saying that the theory is what's stupid. If that happened in the manga, I'd really roll my eyes deep into my head.
I think it'll be really cool if it's a character that we've known all along, and they were no one knew they were Morgans.
I think it's better if it's just no one, if it's just some guy, and it was just a reference to Little Garden, and there you go. That's it.
I think this is going back to Oda writing himself into a corner, because he established there are no bird minks when we got introduced to the minks.
Correct.
So he makes a big bird character. Like, oh shit, I broke my own rule. No, he's an albatross devil fruit man.
Yeah,
that's what I think happened personally.
I think sometimes there should be no rules, and there should just be an albatross who delivers the news to people.
Oh, to live in that world.
Yeah, but he doesn't want there to be an owl that writes books.
Okay, so
I'm not saying I'm against. I just think it would be a stupid twist. It's just
Zach
why?
Hates birds.
Look, he's been living in my backyard for a month, making his "who cooked for you" noise.
Okay, so what's Biblo doing? What's Biblo doing, Mr. Bird Expert?
He's eating mice.
Great, Steven?
Shuji.
Yeah, he's
eating
lining. The secret library chamber is just his nest, and he was just lining. He was like, I need some books to line.
He's always looking at Jinbei like, what the fuck? I'm just making my nest, dude. Owls live in cavity nests. They live in trees. So it's really apropos.
I just find it weird too, because they made sure to mention he's been there for centuries. No one knows where Biblo came from. He's been there for centuries. He has a devil fruit power. That's very useful. He, no one's ever questioned this. And, the library, they built the library. He just moved in and, he's
I think that was his home. They built it around him.
Because he just made the books big.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he'll help out. He's there. But can we please go to the next question? We're killing Steven Spola.
I'm so sorry. Wispy, hey OPP. I think I've always been reluctant for the series to become all about gods, mythical fruits, but damn, does Zaza look cool. I think this chapter made me a lot more optimistic about the trajectory of the series, just so we can see Oda break out some insane character designs. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good.
And you can always fall back on my explanation at the end of the manga recap, which is that this is all just a joke and it has nothing to do with any real
I do really like that too.
He really can go both ways. It's genius writing on his part, honestly.
And I'll be honest, I almost want it to be a joke because the internet would be so pissed. Almost as pissed as I would be if Louis Arnaud was the freaking owl.
It was Biblo. It rhymes. Arnaud, Biblo.
Oh, it has to be the same. It's like when someone has the same hair color as someone else.
Same feather color. All right, our last
Feather
piece.
color. Oh my god.
Sorry. Our last piece is from Tyler. This is a long one, but we'll get through it really quick. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Hope you remembered. I'm sure all the dads of OPP are exhausted from taking care of their Luffys and Bonnies, so your Namis or Robins or Laws can enjoy a relaxing, carefree day. Keep it going.
Wait, who's married with who? Oh, good.
For reference, I married a Robin. She just finished studying a new translation of the Iliad and is excited to see the new Odyssey movie because she teaches a college course on the Odyssey, and we have two Luffys. Oh, congrats!
I'm so confused by this metaphor now.
Well, just Luffy's Bon.
No,
Luffy's
I don't want an
Bonnies are the
explanation.
kids.
I choose to think that someone. I don't know who this person thinks they are in the character spectrum, but Robin has two Luffy
Tyler.
children.
Yeah, they're saying
Right,
Luffy's,
Tyler and Robin have two
Luffy's and Bonnies are kids. Nami's, Robins, and Laws are mommies.
These parenting subreddits, they when they're weird slang terms.
I could see as being a mommy.
It's less than 3, Zach. Just accept it.
It's all less than 3.
So back to square one with kidnapping, huh? Anyway, so I guess Ragnar and the previous owner of the Nidhogger fruit, chapter 1175, the warrior god who fought against the sun god, used to be on Emu's side, maybe similar to Harold. So Emu controlled him in the past during the Void Century, but now the Nidhogger is a free agent on Luffy's team. I wonder if that's the obsession with the Giants by the world government to regain the army they once had to control the world. Now they have turned to the D. I don't know, folks. My head is spinning from a few lines.
I don't know why that's still funny.
Yeah. I don't know, folks. My head is spinning from a few lines at the beginning of the setup chapter. Also, now I'm not sure about a Joy Boy / Emu flashback happening in this arc, since Sommer said it himself that Emu can't stay in the little realm for very long. Later, y'all. Back to the beginning of the birdcage. I mean, kidnapping problem. Not trolling you, but just saying for some reason the last few chapters reminds me of Dressrosa. When I first thought it was over, they got a Doflamingo, then a birdcage reset. Except we saved the kids, saved the Elbaf, just for Emu to come and use the heal spell, D&D reference, to reset and start over the same kidnapping plan. Sorry for the long post. Tyler, you don't need to apologize. Thank you for the dispiece.
Well, not to us.
Yes.
No. It's a good question.
Yeah, and I think we definitely hit on it in the recap itself, where it's like when Emu suggests that they were previously aligned and now Nidhogger is betraying him. Like how aligned, like in what way were they actually aligned? Because yes, you could easily say, well, maybe he had enslaved the dragon with his Domi Reversi powers before or something. So
it gives a lot of like high school reunion energy. Like, I haven't seen you in ages. Oh, you traitor. And like he's talking to the squirrel, and who knows what Ragnar is saying to him. Like, you son of a bitch.
What do you mean you ended up with him? Oh.
You dated her.
Wow, it's the God Valley flashback all over again.
Yes, it is.
Ragnar's like, you never end up with Lily, did you? Like, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
They're a whole bunch of nerds. It's a bunch of nerds at a high school reunion, all fighting about the past.
That is my favorite part about the God Valley flashback. That is my takeaway, is that I do love how it is a high school. It's just actually like a high school musical romance or something. It's just 100%. Fantastic. Yeah. It's just they're all so dumb.
They're all like 16 to 20 years old and cannot possibly envision anything bad happening in their lives. And
they can't move on.
It's so perfect. It's the thing Oda did best in that flashback was characterizing teenagers, and making them just I'm going to take all the most badass, or storied people in my series and turn them into teenagers and see how terrifying they are. And it's fantastic. Do we have anything on Reddit, or do you have that?
Good.
If not, I'll go to Blue Skypea first. That'll give you time. So we're going to go to Blue Skypea, which is on Blue Sky. You can follow us there at OnePiecePodcast.com. First one comes from DK Toy Chest, who says, Zaza the rain god, are they who blesses the rains down in Africa? That's whose joke I stole earlier. That's
bless the
song.
rain
That's
down in Elbath.
Yeah.
There it is.
You think Zeus is gonna see Zaza and like, oh my god,
Zeus and
a
Zaza.
rain lady.
It's the odd
Zeus
couple.
and Zaza in the morning.
Zeus and Zaza. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
We totally did make. We totally did make like Toto bless the rains in Alubarna or whatever, right?
We definitely made that joke.
We've made that joke.
Yeah, with Toto specifically. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
100% made that joke.
Mm-hmm.
We have made references to that song often, which is
it's very easy,
reasonable. Yeah. By the way, Toto also listened to. I feel like that would be popular probably in Mary Jo. Don't white people really like
their yacht rock up there? Yeah.
Yeah, yacht rock. I do like yacht rock too. So that says a lot about me, I guess. Ice Fisher Tenacity says Sanji going up against Zaza is a concerning matchup. Looks like he found his all blue. Okay. I like that.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah. That is good. Very nice.
Like literally. But if Zaza's veil comes off later and it's revealed that they've got a 5 o'clock shadow, so Sanji won't feel conflicted about fighting, I'm going to lose it.
Good.
Going to freaking lose it. Yes, that's a quote. Exactly. Yeah. Ken, this one's for you. Joey Miller says it was kind of Oda to include Ken in this week's chapter and has a screen cap of Sanji saying it's the land of giant, beautiful women as he takes off. There, lifting the veil a little further, but this time on Ken.
Joey gets me.
Alex, do we think Kizaru fears or praises our new deity Zaza? Kizaru? Why Kizaru specifically? Am I missing something?
He's got light powers, and they can make a rainbow together.
Aw.
They can make a rainbow.
Nice? Yeah.
Now I want to see a picture of them doing that less than 3 thing where they both each have half of the
someone
heart.
Does the heart and no one.
Yeah, and so it's
the other one is doing the thumbs up or whatever. Yeah,
Kizaru does that, and Zaza does.
It's Gerd with her thumbs like bandaged.
Oh, that doesn't really fit with the joke, but it works because it's funny for different reasons.
We have a lot of thumbs up jokes today.
Yeah, not enough. Anthony88 is the last one on Skype on Blue Sky. Who's last one on Skypea that says Emu seems to really like Pac-Man. What video game character would you guys create with evil shadow flames? What's Pac-Man specific? The ghosts or the
like the heart,
because of the little guys.
Little ball guys.
Yeah. I guess I've always thought of them more chain chompy, and by always I mean the last 2 chapters that they've appeared.
Chain chomp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always like Grim Reaper, shadowy, like flowing robes, hoods, like elongated bodies, kind of stuff like that.
I feel like what video game characters from like the very retro games would be funnier just because they're simpler. But
the Shadow, wasn't there a Shadow Mario in
Mario Galaxy and
Galaxy
and Sunshine?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
that's a tough one.
I know what I want. Tom Nook, right? That was his first name. Right?
You want a Shadow Tom Nook from
Yes,
Animal Crossing?
Yeah, that just feels right to me.
Give me some shadowy Metroids. Those would be intimidating.
Yeah,
with like the claws on top and whatnot.
Yeah, the floaty guys.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Reddit questions.
We did not have a thread for this episode on Reddit.
Then never mind. So the subreddit archipelago has sunk deep into the ocean.
God.
Damn you, Zaza.
Yeah, Zaza. Her dark work.
Zaza was indeed freaky this week.
I need a giant rain goddess. No, that's too big.
Even Zaza won't go to Reddit. So whatever. We'll come back to Reddit next week. Hopefully, if it's not such a dense chapter, or 2 weeks, I should say. Do we even know what we're doing next week? I don't think we do.
Let's talk about it in the outro.
No, I think we actually do know. So we'll see. That's a great segue that I ruined by continuing to talk just now. Thank you, Stephen. We'll see you on the other side of this segment. this episode canon? Or is this official? Because this has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 918 for May 11th. Thank you guys for coming on the show. But thanks to Steve, of course. You can check him out at Steve Yurko, really everywhere. Big thanks to Delaney. You can check out Infinite Snow Productions, right? Yeah. On most platforms. Or Delaney, does she have any other? Anyway, check her out. Patreon. Our Patreon is also basically her Patreon, so please check that out too. Please subscribe to us at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. Sticker of the Month crew, $12 a month. Or you could get alternate images, alternate titles, and boy, Kirby's images are really top-notch generally, and the alternative art, very funny. And the alternative titles this week, you're going to want to see this list. Stephen, where could people find you?
I'm on Blue Sky, stephenpaul.bsky.social.
Sorry. Kirby posted exactly the reason why you should be checking in our chat, so can't stop looking. But that's on patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast, or check out Kirby's accounts, which I always mess up, so I'm not even going to try, but we'll link it in the description.
Kirby's posts on Tomodachi Life, all of his villagers are amazing.
That.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'll get sucked into that game. I can't.
Kirby made a Robin and Frankie, and like the game has naturally paired them together.
Oh, right, I did see that.
They had a
there's
kid,
been
right?
marriage, there's been a child.
What
like,
does the child of Frankie and Robin look like? That's a really good question.
You have to go look at it. It's incredible. I don't want to spoil it, but make sure you're following Kirby, because it's... Yes, and Kirby, the name of the child, Kirby went with Ranky.
That's right. That's, well... Yeah, Robin would like it. Robin would like it because it sounds awful, and she just loves that.
It's the failed shipping name of the two of them. Like everyone calls it Robin. Nice. Ranky is the rejected one.
Ranky is the right one, though. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere online under KindKing01, whether it be Blue Sky, Instagram, you name it, I'm there. And also, please check out the One Piece art collab at opcollab.bsky.social.
You could check me out at zachlogan.com on Blue Sky, where I post occasional bird photos. But I really don't want to call any of them Louis or no. It's like a real red line for me. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's going to happen now. You're going to manifest this.
The more fake angry I get about it, the more I realize how stupid it is that I'm being angry about
it's great.
it. But whatever. I'm just gonna.
He's working himself into a shoot.
I am.
Yeah.
You can find us at OnePiecePodcast.com, One Piece Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at youtube.com/OnePiecePodcast. I might not know what less than 3 means, but I don't really have anywhere else to go with that. It's really, I've really just lost faith.
Good job. Good pitch.
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just ashamed.
He's out of touch.
I'm out of touch. Well, I've always been out of touch. I've been out of touch. I was out of touch when I was.
You were never in touch.
Yeah, that's. Let's make clear that is nothing age related. I've just always been out of touch. Because like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm so old compared to blah blah blah, but I'm like, no, I've just always been 95 at heart. Like in here. Ken, we have some like real stuff to get into here. How's our Glup Shitbeard tournament going? What's happening?
Oh, right. The most important part of the episode here.
Yeah. So I know Stephen's been waiting to put his thumb on the scale.
Yes. So we have one tie here, so I'll go through the other 3 first. We have one tie that's
what are we in
we're
in the quarterfinals? That's what these are?
Is that what that's called? And there's only like 2 rounds left?
Yes.
Then yes.
Quarter, semis, then finals. Yeah.
Okay. So in our Glup Shitbeard bracket, the Satanist beat Charlotte Moscato, Minister Gelato, 19-16.
Yeah, we're kicking ass. Satanists.
King Bomb beat Peek at the Crotch, 24-10.
That truly shocking result. That
was a big upset. I was very really surprised.
Shocked. Look, Stephen and I, obviously, both huge King Bomb fans, I think we could say. Like that top tier Club Shitbeard. I think counts as a Club Shitbeard because the talking stump, let's be honest, mostly a stump in that arc, that's running through Whole Cake Island, being in anyone's thought at any point in time. You know.
Yeah. He's pretty great.
He's great.
All right. Next, Sarfunkel beat Chuji 19-16.
Wow. I mean, the mouse has been taken down.
Chuji got far. I'm happy Chuji got as far as they did.
Chuji is a funny one to vote for.
Yeah. All right, now Steven, this is where you come in.
Okay.
Right, here we
Between
go.
Whoop Slap and Orlumbus, each received 17 votes at the last second before we started recording tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough
one. So
you
you are the tiebreaker.
I'm not even going to try and influence it because.
Well, if you want, so Zach, you voted for Whoop Slap, correct?
No, I voted for Orlumbus, but the reason you voted for Whoop Slap.
I did Orlumbus too. I thought you voted for Whoop Slap.
I'll just say I was torn because like Whoop Slap has kind of been my main Glub Shitbeard, but he kind of had his, he had his moment in the sun during the last WT 100. That was kind of how I felt. And Orlumbus, I love the humor of the mundane, and he is that.
His cover story really what sold him as a full
nothing else did because he sucked in Dressrosa is the problem.
But that you could say that makes him a good
you could say
Glub
that.
Shitbeard too.
You can say that.
All right, Steven.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna do the Gladiator. Orlumbus. You get my thumb here.
This is not going to work for
camera.
Audio, so someone.
No, not for Orlumbus. I have to say it out loud. Orlumbus, I declare sentenced to death.
No,
really? You're voting Whoop Slap?
Whoop Slap.
All right.
Look, I can't be upset about it because that was a tough one for me. I was torn.
Okay.
I'm glad Orlumbus got to where he got. I'm not upset about that.
That's going to upset a lot of people, I feel like.
only half of the people.
That's true.
That was
the other
That's
half,
true.
Yeah.
But just the entire tournament, the people have been like, "Oh, this is just going to be an Orlumbus sweep, Orlumbus win."
It's
no, I know.
No, Stephen. I think that's the most exciting and fun way you could reveal that is on air with a thumbs up, a thumbs down that no one could see, much like
throw him overboard. Make him walk the plank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this podcast right now, the next round of votes should be live already. Please join the Discord. It's free to join.
Do they have to join like a specific?
So the way the Discord is currently set up is when you're first join, it shows you a bunch of categories of channels you want to see. So you may not see the bracket of consequences if you didn't check it off originally.
That's what it was.
If not, just go to the very top of the Discord, see all the channels available, and make sure you can view all of them. You can look for the bracket of consequence channel.
And so what do the semifinals look like?
All right. So the next round, the voting is up right now. We have Whoop Slap versus Sarfunkel and King Baum versus the Satanist.
Ooh, that's a legitimately tough one for me. I mean, my ego versus the love/hatred of puns. The other,
and then
those two are that's my real final right there. Those two.
That's going to be interesting. And then the week afterwards, we're going to pit the first and second place against each other for first and second place, and the two runners up for third and fourth place as well. So we're entering into the end of the next
times.
week or so.
End times.
Yes.
And what are we doing? What are we doing after this tournament? Do you have more planned?
Oh, I have so many planned. As long as we want to keep doing them.
I want to hear some before we leave, and then
I would like to do because we talked about this for forever on the main show too, doing a cover story one.
Yes.
Ranking all the cover, doing a bracket for all the cover stories.
Yeah,
sure.
That's a good discussion.
I wrote down. We joked about a ranking of kings, taking all the characters who with either king in their name or a king or any type of leadership.
That's great.
Nice.
And doing them together.
That is pretty
That's a good one.
That's a fun one.
Someone wanted a dad bracket at one point of all the dads.
The zaddies or just dads?
Just dad.
Like
just dads that I wrote down.
Okay.
Someone suggested doing a color spread bracket, which could be fun as well.
That seems intense. That's intense.
That'd be intense.
Yeah.
We would need a lot of nominations.
And
that'd
also
be
tough
gathering,
on a podcast.
gathering the images. Yeah, but as long as these are well received and you guys in the Discord are having fun with these, we'll keep going with them because it's fun to watch the discussion and see what these results end up being. This was a very nutty one where no one knew where this would go.
No, I like this one because no one knows where this will go. Yeah, like how does Water 7 win is that's the ARC bracket. And that's the ARC rankings generally. But no, this is fun. I like the unpredictable ones. Like, I feel like for cover stories could be contentious. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, exactly.
Next week, I think we are going to be doing our One Piece card game special episode, which I've been hinting at for a little while. So we'll see.
Yeah. I just got into the card game. Like,
I'm sorry.
Not like fully, but I'm gonna collect every Yamato card. So any card where Yamato's in the art or named, I'm just gonna do that. I feel like that's like a healthy balance for me.
Healthy.
There is nothing about that is either healthy or a balance. That just
the Stephen Paul disappointment was so
Stephen
real
Paul's
right
right.
now.
Stephen Paul is once again. Stephen Paul did this intentionally and intentionally
Stephen Paul was
correctly.
Biblo just now looking at me like, God.
Or that look I gave earlier to Steve.
Yes,
that one. That'll do it. But we'll see you next week for that. Stephen, yes.
Yeah, well, while we're talking about stuff coming up, because I'm sure that there are some people who are wondering, and we should probably rip this Band-Aid off sooner or later, but I want to let you all know that for the time being, and this is indefinite. I'm not sure how long this may last. The SGS is on a hiatus. Me and Greg you can call it a recharging. We're just taking a step back for a little bit. And hopefully, somewhere down the line, like I said, this is indefinite. It's not a personal thing. There's no personal drama behind the scenes. It was just a, mutual decision that, with both of us, having so many, professional responsibilities at the moment. Greg is obviously very busy with his own, official work behind the scenes, and he's back on the translation gig as well. And it is a lot of it takes a lot of effort for a show that sounds so chill because it's just two people, but a two person conversation that lasts for 2.5 to 3 hours is actually very stressful to get through all the way when you can't let it drop or it's dead air. So we're gonna let it lay low for a little bit, and hopefully at some point the stars will align again, and maybe we'll be back to it. Either way, if you were a fan of it and you want to see it come back, I would say my advice to you is just be patient. Don't bother. Don't ask Greg about it. Don't say any. If he's talking about One Piece on Twitter or whatever. Yeah. Don't go. I'm like, well, if you're talking about the latest chapter here, why don't you talk about the SGS? Just give him some space, and that would be the best thing for everybody. So. Just to let you know, because I feel bad because I see people who do write in every other week or so with like their new SGS questions, and I don't want to lead them on to think that, oh, well, it's just around the corner. It'll be if it does return, it will be a little bit later.
Greg left it. I mean, feel free to cut whatever, but like Greg left it open ended. So that's the reason I have not been trying to lead anyone on. I just don't. When indefinite sounds like, oh, it's just not planned to ever come back. Yeah. But it's more like we just don't know when, but hopefully it will, like we'll expect it to, I think, probably. It's my favorite podcast. So I'm going to do everything I can to play, do whatever fisticuffs I need to do to get Greg back. Yeah, no. It's gonna be really
no fisticuffs.
No, you said there's no drama, but there's gonna be drama. He's gonna have to. I don't care if he doesn't talk about One Piece. I still want to hear the two of you talk about, I don't know, the apartment that was infested with roaches, or the workout that
Good
Greg
times.
is doing, or I'm trying to think of what other conversations you have before you start talking about One Piece.
Him throwing up before getting on the train.
That was someone else throwing up, wasn't it?
You're right.
The entire tire story.
He got sick too.
Oh, he did. Okay. I don't remember. But I gotta say though, like it is. Listening to two of you talk. It's not just because I know you guys, but it's an awesome experience. So I hope that hope that we could get back there. I'm saying that as a fellow fan, because I'm sure everyone else listening agrees. But that said, everyone needs space.
Yes.
I get it. So like, I want both of you to take the time you need.
Yeah.
Except Stephen, you better be back here.
But it's now it's a chance to talk about the card game, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see who we can wrangle up to.
I'll say we've had like a lot of like things that we've. We still have volumes, we still have magazines, we still have like a ton of like off week things that are still happening.
Not next week, but they will still fill the manga gaps.
Yeah, I'm not worried about content. I'll put it that way. We'll see you next week though with that. I think that's everything for the One Piece podcast. Fuck Ice. We'll see you next week.
Fuck Ice.
Everyone, goodbye.